You're about to listen to TADPOG. Tyler and Dave play old games. It's a comedy video game podcast. We would like to stress that the hosts are not experts and are really just very crass commentators. Seriously, this is an explicit podcast that happens to talk about video games sometimes. So please enjoy this pretty okay podcast with Tyler and Dave.
Hello, Internet.
Hello.
And welcome to another futuristic artisanal spun podcast where we have come back in time to tell you about Timecop.
Daylight Savings special episode.
Shit, yes.
We planned this, motherfuckers. You didn't think we were going to do it, did you? Surprise. We remembered to turn our clocks back and play Timecop. What have you been doing with your life? Patreon.com/TADPOG.
Money, please. Money, please.
If you've been doing better than us, which you have, I assure you, Patreon.com/TADPOG.
Guys, how about the results of that election? Am I right?
Boy, what a nail biter.
Oh, man.
Crazy.
I'm glad they resolved it all in one day.
Pennsylvania, am I right?
It's definitely not
I didn't think
still
it was going to
going.
go that way.
Wow.
Me neither. It's definitely not still going on as this is aired.
And I don't know how I feel about it.
I don't either.
I, for one, welcome our new overlord. Well, today we're talking about this pre/post/daylight savings episode
Daylight Saving Time special episode.
of both the movie and the game Timecop, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme. So, of course, we bring on the foremost that I honestly know in this world, foremost Jean-Claude Van Dammeologist, Sandwich Pope Bill Hawkins.
Welcome.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Most of the time, I'm facetious when I say we've brought on this blah-blah-blahologist. This time, I'm not kidding. I don't know anybody that knows more about Jean-Claude Van Damme than Phil.
Jean-Claude Van Damme!
Van Damme!
Van Damme! So much fun to say as a kid.
For myself. This is really all I wanted to be when I grew up, was a Van Damme anthropologist.
That should be like if you're ever like interviewed, instead of it saying like local man, Phil Hawkins, local man, it should say Phil Hawkins and down below Van Damme anthropologist.
See, so like it's not just us, it's anybody doing a Van Damme movie calls Phil to be on it. Because I love your episode, I believe, on with Experience Grind, where you talked about Bloodsport.
Yeah.
Chef's Kiss. Chef's Kiss, because
And-
it started with Ryan not liking Bloodsport and wanting to shit on it, but you were so passionate and enthralling about it, you brought him around at the end. It was wonderful.
Such is the power of the muscles from Brussels.
Yeah.
You can bring anybody in.
But before we get to all the time copy Van Damme goodness, what's everybody been up to?
Boy, have I got some stuff to tell you guys.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's the same kind of shit I tell you every week. I just wanted to
Hell
make
yeah.
it seem more exciting than
No,
it
Hell
is.
yeah.
It's
Hell
exciting
yeah.
every week.
Started watching One Piece,
oh,
the anime.
oh boy.
Okay, the anime.
I know you watch shit real
I
fast, so I
do.
am curious how long it takes you to
All
get
right,
through
all right.
1,152
I
episodes.
started. It's the anime. I've already watched the first season of the live action like several months ago.
Yeah.
right when it came out.
Yeah.
And I liked the live action enough, and I finally got around to the point. Fuck it, I'm gonna start watching One Piece. It's on Netflix. All of them are on Netflix in the proper order, and it's all done the way that my old man brain can understand. Crunchyroll is kind of hard because you've got like all the different languages, and sometimes they play an episode and then the same episode and the next language will play.
Their user experience is fucked.
It's awful.
Yeah.
So
their actual like subtitles are better,
Yeah.
but the user experience is like, this sucks, man. Why does it say there are 100 episodes of this show that's been on for one season? Oh, because every episode in every language is listed separately. What the fuck?
I have been watching it fairly regularly. There's been a couple of breaks for other shit that I watch on the regular, but it's all wrapping up now. I started watching it on October the 30th.
And you're halfway through. That's my guess.
I'm done. I've watched all of them. No, it's November 4th, as of the day of this recording. I'm almost done with season 1.
How many episodes are in a season? Like 24?
Like 30 something.
Okay.
But they're short.
Yeah.
I mean, they're like 20 minutes long, and half of it, as is the case with a lot of anime, is just rehash ultra long opening sequences and ultra long closing sequences. So you really only get about 18 to 22 minutes of actual content.
And it's only 359 hours for all of it.
We're gonna keep track of this as we go forward to see how long it takes me to finish one, to get caught up to, and there's a new season that just started. So we'll be caught up. We're gonna see how long it takes me to get caught up to the current season of One Piece.
I'm tempted to like. Can anyone start a poll like on a betting site? Because like I feel like this would be a fun one to do.
Yeah.
Because I would honestly bet how many hours? Did you say 359?
300.
Yeah.
Let me bring it back up again. Yeah, 359 hours.
359 hours.
15 days
Nothing.
straight, you could do it.
Yeah, I think you could do that.
That's like a quarter of the TADPOG catalog.
Yeah.
But how? But like, what percentage of entertainment?
One Piece
is
can
it?
suck our dicks.
Yeah.
So you can do that. You know, if y'all want to come up with a poll or something to see. You have my start date now of October the 30th. I don't have a specific amount of episodes I watch. I just watch when I can, and then I stop when I need to stop.
Well, if you did like I played Final Fantasy 11 in culinary school, which was 8 hours of sleep, 8 hours of class, 8 hours of Final Fantasy 11.
It just
if you
balances
did it like
right out.
that, yeah, you could do it in 45 days.
Oh yeah, I'll
That's
have
the
it
rule
done.
of thirds.
I'll have it done. But I'm really enjoying it. I really like it. a
February.
lot.
You're gonna be caught up in February.
Okay,
That's
February.
my
Ooh.
guess.
That's a good
Pretty
guess.
good.
Is it now? If I will warn. Should I give everyone a fair warning if I get so burned out on it and I stop?
No, that's part of it.
Or is that part?
That's
of it?
part
Okay.
of it. Yeah.
So, but I'm really, really, really enjoying it, and I love Monkey D. Luffy. I love him. His little attitude, and
He's
his
the guy with the hat?
the hat, and his mouth, the way he responds to things. He's just so straightforward and basic about everything, and I love it. I can see what the appeal is that everyone I can see why this show has been such a big deal.
Which it is a huge
It's a
deal.
huge fucking
for sure.
deal. It's
It's his
fucking
middle
everywhere.
initial D.
Yeah.
So it's like Homer J. Simpson.
Yeah.
Okay.
It
But
probably
D
stands
has
for
something to
D.
do with like a line of pirates or something like
It
that.
might. I don't know enough about it yet. And so far, the first season hasn't covered anything that wasn't covered in the live action. They just made it a lot briefer in live action.
Does it tie in to Cutthroat Island at all?
Probably.
Good.
I think,
And
I think,
Muppet Treasure Island.
I think Matthew Modine voices
Okay.
Monkey D. Luffy.
All right. I would love that. I would watch that.
I'm curious, is Monkey his nickname, or is that his Christian name that he was given at birth?
It's actually a slur.
I don't know. I think he just always introduces himself as Monkey D. Luffy.
Oda's
So-
baked in racial slurs into every single character. You just have to
You gotta
find them.
find
That's,
them.
the part of the fun.
Yeah, it's a riddle.
That's the treasure hunt.
Yeah.
Find the racism in One Piece.
So there's the
One Piece
challenge.
is Mr. Popo.
Yeah, I was about to say it's too obvious in Dragon Ball. Like, you watch Dragon Ball and it's like, oh shit, yeah, this was made in the '80s, wasn't it?
This one was started in 1999, so it started a little later. Than
We
some of
solved it
those.
by then.
We had figured it out.
Yeah,
by
it's
then.
done.
So anyway, I'm doing that. So yeah, feel free to place your bets wherever as to when you think I'm going to finish.
February.
Maybe we'll come up. I've still got stuff in my box of goodies somewhere around here. I'll if you get it, whoever gets closest to the actual finish date, I'll send you something from.
We'll give you whatever's in that Arby's bag Tyler brought in.
Yeah, no, that's probably for us.
Oh,
It is for you.
All right,
Hell
so continue. I don't want to hog it. 'cause I
Gotta
know
feed my hungry guys.
yeah.
We've got a
SNL. Yeah, like the Super Bowl wife or whatever.
Totitos for my hungry
Right,
guys.
Yeah.
next up on my list of shit that I watched this week. is a movie called Cellar Door, which, according to the movie Donnie Darko, is the most beautiful phrase in the English language. This one is not.
I don't know. I've always been fond of ass to mouth.
Girl, same.
It's the sound of cheeks clapping.
This one is kind of a thriller suspense kind of movie. Stars Jordana Brewster, who you might remember from such roles as Dom's little sister in Fast and the Furious movies, and the commercials for the General car insurance.
Is she the little cartoon man?
Nope, she's herself.
Oh, okay.
A guy named Scott Speedman, who apparently is a really well-known actor amongst a lot of people, and I have no idea who the fuck he is. And good old Larry Fishburne.
Oh,
from you might remember
Dream
him
Warriors.
from Nightmare on Elm Street, Dream Warriors.
Yeah. And not much else.
And that's it. He didn't really have much of a career after that, but he's back in Cellar Door form. And the story is that this couple is played by Jordana Brewster and Scott Speedman. They suffer through a miscarriage, and they decide after this happens that they're going to move. They're going to move out of their apartment in Portland, I think, actually, Phil. This takes place in. And they're going to move out to a more rural area. And they're out looking at houses, and they can't find what they like. It's either too expensive or it's not big enough. And anyway, they get introduced to this guy played by Larry Fishburne, who is living in this massive house and has given them a choice. And he says to them, "I will give you this house. It will be your house. You can have it." And it's a huge house.
But you got to suck my dick anytime I ask you to.
Exactly. You've seen it then.
Free.
I've seen it. I live it.
The only caveat is, the only rule he has is that they are not allowed to open the cellar door under any circumstances. And if they do open the cellar door, the ownership of the house goes back to the dude and they have to get out. And
I'm curious about the lawyer who drew up that contract.
Yeah.
it was all done in a promissory note. So obvious, legalities aside, it was a pretty cool movie. I enjoyed it. So that one I'm giving 3.5 stars.
Every now and then someone just comes around the house. I heard there's some really cool shit in the cellar.
It's one of those outside cellar doors, the double type, like that leads to like a cold cellar.
Right, sure. Or you go with like escape a tornado kind of deal.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
You go in to find someone's mind crystal in the very end to pull the blight out of them, or
that's right. It's that kind of door, exactly. So yeah, 3.5 stars. Wiz and Sage says check it out. I liked it. It's on your streaming platform of choice if you'd like to check it out. And the next movie I watched. This is the last one I'm going to discuss. There's this movie now that it's called.
We're not even talking about the movie today. This is it. Ian steps back after this one.
This is
no time cop.
I bring this one up with caution. This is called The Substance. I don't know if you've heard of it.
I haven't. The Substance.
The Substance. Demi Moore is in this movie.
Okay. When did this come out? Is it old?
This year.
Oh, okay.
Just recently.
Oh, I didn't know she was still doing shit.
She is. And let me tell you something. Go ahead, Phil.
I've seen some images on my Reddit feed from The Substance.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
That tells me a lot.
She is, first of all, she's naked a lot in this movie.
Yeah.
Which is nice. She still has it.
It feels like that. It seems like it might be the point. Yeah.
But I will say this. Before I get into what this movie is about, Demi Moore's performance in this movie was Oscar fucking worthy, and I am not even kidding. The way the movie is, the type of movie that it is, I very seriously doubt it's going to get any Oscar nods, but she deserves an Oscar for Best Actress for this movie, plain and simple. It was fantastic performance by her. That being said, I cannot recommend this movie to everybody because I have seen also Margaret Qualley, who had a brief role in a young lady who had a brief role in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, And then Dennis Quaid is also in this movie. And if you don't like him, you really won't like him in this. But
Took a break from being on Fox News to come do this movie with Demi Moore.
this one,
But Demi Moore's gonna be naked in this? Yeah, I'll do it. What? She's playing the substance? All right.
She makes me produce the substance. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
this movie is, I've seen a lot of movies.
Yeah, you have. You've a lot.
I've seen a lot of shit in my life. This is the single most fucked up movie I have ever seen, and I am saying that with zero hyperbole. By the end of it, I felt wrong and weird and disgusted and dirty and gross. It was.
You're selling it.
It was. It was gross. It was the grossest body horror gore movie I have ever seen, and it was.
All right, I'm looking.
But it was done so fucking well. Like you couldn't turn your eyes away. It was a work of art, this movie. And if gore and body horror and that kind of thing is something that doesn't, if it bothers you, do not fucking watch this movie. I mean, it is. All right, so I mentioned last week, Tyler, about Terrifier 3, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I said, oh, God, it's really gory. I almost reached my limit. This movie is 10 times fucking worse than Terrifier 3.
It's got like a 91% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Such a good fucking movie, though. I cannot stress that enough. It is.
If Christopher Nolan did gore, would it be this?
I don't think anyone could do this again. This is the kind of thing. The story is about this aging actress who is losing she's lost her last kind of gig as a host of an exercise show. And this is played by Demi Moore. And she's being phased out because she's just getting too old. The numbers aren't up there anymore. And you know how it is as in that industry in Hollywood, the older you get, the harder it is to stay relevant unless you can kind of transcend and get up into the Judi Dench and that area. You know what I'm saying? And for her, she was very famous most of her life, but her fame is starting to wane and it's taking a toll on her emotionally. And so she has to go to the hospital after an accident, and the nurse guy who's examining her slips this thing into her pocket, which is a USB drive that says The Substance. And then on the other side is a phone number. And so she goes home and plays the video on the USB drive, and it shows this video of that explains that this drug will make you spawn a younger, better you out of your body. And it comes out of her back. So she takes the drug, and this young woman that's like a younger version of her comes out of her back. And then they have this whole system in place where they have to switch places every 7 days. So like one sleeps for 7 days, and there's like a food pack that she plugs into her vein. And then the other one is supposed to revive and then put herself down to sleep for 7 days so it can be and it's a cycle that has to be respected.
Also, our lawyers say you can't fuck it. We need you to sign this. We don't care if you do or not, but we need you to sign saying that you
truly
won't.
don't. There are no lawyers involved in this. They truly do not give a fuck what you do, but they give you a very explicit set of instructions to follow.
It's like Gremlins.
It's like a very horribly fucked up Gremlins. It is like that
because they pop out of
out of their
Gizmo's back.
Yeah, it would not surprise me if this was inspired in some way by Gremlins.
The filmmaker was like, "All right, hear me out, Gremlins." But Demi Moore is a Mogwai, and she's naked.
And the other girl is
Demi Moore's
also
a Tigwai.
What's he done? The one that plays her spawn is also naked a lot. It's a great fucking movie.
It's been showing up on my subreddits a lot.
Yeah, there's a reason for that. I'm just and I want as many people that think they can handle it to watch this movie. But
No, I'm
just be prepared because it's like I said, I was not prepared for it to be this fucked up. Now you will be, so maybe I've dulled it for you a little bit, and if I have, I'm sorry. But I, in good conscience, could not recommend this on a semi-widely listened to podcast without kind of putting that disclaimer in there.
This sounds like the kind of thing that if it had come out when I was 14 would have like altered my sexuality, because I would
Probably.
be like watching horrible things like in between beating off every like 20 minutes when Demi Moore's naked.
Sounds like an
And
Aeon
listen-
Flux sort of thing.
Yeah.
I honestly believe Demi Moore looks just as good, if not better, now than she did when in her younger years.
Maybe it's the clone.
I mean, it's not. The clone's hot too. But
Paul Rudd has
No.
a very similar show about this,
Oh,
to where he finds this business that will make you better. Like, what do you not like about yourself? We'll make it better. That's what we do.
okay.
And he goes in and has it done, and
He says, I want to be Demi Moore. And then Demi Moore grows out of his
throws it out of
back.
his back. Well, I can't remember what it's called, because he's about to get fired from his job. His wife is falling out of love with him. He goes to do this to get better, and then it cuts to him coming out, and he's way more extroverted, way more charming. Stuff starts going his way.
Yeah.
And then cut to a field behind the place where old Paul Rudd wakes up,
Uh-huh.
to where
Okay.
they clone you and then kill
I
the
got
old
you.
you, and the new you goes
Okay,
on.
I got you.
So he survives. Like they
What they were
botch killing
supposed to
him, and
get
he gets
botched.
away.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds familiar. I think I've
Dinner for schmucks?
Ant-Man? This is the plot to Ant-Man. How do we But anyway, yeah, The Substance, highly recommended. It's on your streaming platform of choice. I can't remember where it is streaming other than that. But definitely listen, I've given this one a 4 stars.
It sounds cool.
Easily 4 stars. Wiz Sage says check it out. Just be warned. It's fucking gross. It's fucking gross.
Okay.
I'm looking up, and it says it's streaming only on Mubi, M-U-B-I.
Okay.
Famous
Mubi.
streaming app, Mubi.
Movie.
Mubi, like
Mubi cow.
everyone uses. I think they actually do.
Isn't that the
use a
golden
little
calf
cow for
from that Kevin Smith movie?
Yep.
It is. It is.
Clerks.
So that's pretty much it. I wanted to also mention real quick, Kaiser Ark and I have been playing a little more Overwatch together, which has been a lot of fun. So thanks for that. Thanks for joining me in there. We had a really good night the other night playing, and hopefully our schedules can keep lining up and we can keep playing together, because it's nice to have a friend in that game. So anyway,
If Demi Moore were cast to play an Overwatch character, who would it be? Would it be Widowmaker? That's my guess, but I'm not the expert.
Oddly enough, Bastion.
beep boop 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 boop.
My memory
let
of
me
us
think
talking
on
about
that.
that is such a weird ambient haze. I could just pick out random words like that and have no context for them.
I would say
Genji main. That's what Demi would board. That's a thing I could say that's somewhat relative, right?
yes. I think if she was actually cast as an Overwatch, it would be as Widowmaker, but there's a lot of better choices out there for Widowmaker, I think. But if she was in it,
She's in it.
Probably Widowmaker.
Okay.
We'll see. I'll think on it.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
No, it's a good question. What have you been up to, Dave?
I had such a good time watching Nightmare on Elm Street movies that I decided to keep that train rolling.
Nice.
And
We did too.
I watched Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child, and I gotta say, I stopped the train. I pulled the emergency brake. I got to the end of that movie and I was like, well, shit.
Maybe that's why they had to reboot it.
And I was like, do I watch Freddy's Dead? I've heard it's hilariously bad. I think that's the one with the video game kill, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, which I think I'll just watch the movie just because I need to see that.
And then Freddy versus Jason. You got to watch that.
I've seen that one.
that's right.
I need to rewatch that one. But yeah, The Dream Child, It's not as bad as the second movie.
Right.
That's a
bad movie.
Second movie's real bad.
Yeah, it sets the bar really high for like bad movies.
But it's also
Bad
like
Nightmare
the
movies.
Dream Child was like looked so cheap.
I mean, they're
it
like
looked
neck and neck
so
in the
cheap.
race to suck.
Yeah, it was not good in my opinion. And then I watched a 2014 movie that I've been meaning to watch since 2014, The Babadook.
Oh man, that one's.
I liked the Babadook.
I liked it.
Seen that.
Yeah, I liked it. It was not what I expected it to be, but it was like a good movie. I thought it was going to be like a scary movie, and it wasn't a scary movie to me. It was one of those where it's like, well, let's just see how this plays out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was really well done. And there's a better child actor in it than there was in Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child. And then I've been playing some games. So the Monster Hunter Wilds open beta was this past weekend. And I played quite a bit of that with a group that I do some tabletop games with online. And man, that is a fun game.
And what's it called again?
Monster Hunter
Wilds.
Wilds.
So this is part of the Monster Hunter series.
Yeah, it's the next one.
Okay.
It's coming out in February. It's real similar in gameplay, but they're like the big thing about it is that there's like no loading screens. It's open world. Which when I heard that, I was like, oh, fuck, is this how, like, I'm kind of done with that a little bit, open world, but, it's still done in a way where it's like, and it was the beta, so there was just one zone, so I don't know what it's going to feel like when it's,
Right.
completely fleshed out, but, the gameplay is a lot of fun. It was one of those where it's like a hunt takes like between 20 to 30 minutes, and I would get done with a hunt and be like, well, fuck, I kind of want to do another one. So I spent a good amount of time. I think it did like 8 hours playing that this weekend.
Now, is the Monster Hunter series a Nintendo exclusive or?
No, it's Steam,
Okay.
PS5, Xbox.
On everything.
Yeah, it's pretty much on everything.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
I think they've had Monster Hunter Rise. I think when it came out was like a timed exclusive on the Switch.
Okay.
But I know it came out on Steam. 'cause
That's
I've
what
got
I
it on
remember
Steam.
seeing it mostly on, but that was during the time when I was playing mostly on my Switch.
That makes sense. But yeah, hopefully they do another beta. It was set where it's like, because the loop in that game is you go out, you hunt monsters, you kill the monsters, you carve them up, you take what you've carved, you take all those materials that you've gathered, and then you craft gear from those materials.
Okay, cool.
But in the beta, you couldn't craft yet. So it's like we would just go out in our like shitty starter gear, and we killed all the monsters. Like we just set out to like, well, let's just hunt them all.
Now you get to carry the gear into the.
I don't think so.
No.
No, I don't think so. You get to carry.
Or
You get to.
materials. I mean.
Yeah, that'd be nice. But no, it's essentially just kind of. This is just for funsies.
Gotcha.
You get to carry over the character that you create. I made Timu Cloud. And you get like this little companion with you that it's essentially a cat, like a bipedal cat. So I made Kate Sith. So I get to carry him over. So that's fun.
That is cool.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it coming out.
I'd have tried to make the lucky cat that Turbo Granny got into.
Oh shit!
Dawn to Dawn. That
Yeah,
would be so good.
That would be good. The character creator is a lot of fun. I probably spent, I don't know, out of the 8 hours, probably like 1 hour of that was making Cloud.
Nice. I love shit like that.
And it just started because it's like I'm going through all the options, all the hair options, and it's like, oh, that kind of looks like Cloud's hair. Could I make Cloud in this game? So, and then I played a game from 2019 that I slept on, and I really regret that I just started playing it, and that's Disco Elysium.
Oh, I'm familiar with this
Fuck,
one.
man, that game is so good. It's so fucking good. That has been like a fucking time suck because it's one of those games where it's like I start playing it and it's like it's so compelling that like I lose track of time, and it's like I'm like, oh fuck, what time is it? And it's like I've been talking to this one NPC for 30 minutes. That's the kind of game it is, because it's a detective RPG that is got a really distinct art style. It's got like a painterly kind of art style to it. It's I have not had a single I've played the game for 8 hours so far. I have not had a single combat. It's all, I shouldn't say all, but it's mostly dialogue trees and skill checks.
Okay.
And the writing is really, really good. The writing is what makes it really compelling. The dialogue is really good. And so you've got these like different faculties of your personality that are essentially characters. So like they will interject. Like you'll be talking to somebody, you'll be talking to an NPC, and they'll like say something rude to you, and then like a certain aspect of your personality will like pop up dialogue, and it's in your head essentially, and it'll be like, you should stab this guy in the eye.
Oh, yeah.
And so then it's kind of one of those where it's like you make decisions based on the different faculties that pop up, and they kind of like affect. I don't know how much they affect the story because I'm only 8 hours in on like a first playthrough, but like the marketing phrase for the game was, "What kind of cop will you be?" So you get to make a lot of different decisions on like how you handle problems. And it's like, there are so many, like you carry a journal, where it like has leads in it and like different people asking you for different stuff. And that gets so like overwhelming, but like in a good way. It's like one of those where it's like, I'm looking through all of it and everything, there's a time, like the clock is always going. It's one of those where it's like, it feels to me, it gives me, not stylistically, but like the management feel of like Persona 4 did, where it's like, okay, I can't do everything. So it's like, what can I do? And it's like, that's fun, where it's like you're making, priorities. You're prioritizing, okay, well, you're there in this town to investigate a murder. Someone's been hanged from a tree, and you're trying to figure out who the murderer is. That's how it all starts. But then it starts to like, there are threads here and there that where you're like, well, I don't know if this is related to the murder or not. And then it's a whole thing. And then it's got this real like dark vibe to it, where it's like, I don't know if it's because of the character that I'm playing. When you start the game, you get to choose what kind of cop you are. Like, as far as like, there are different options where it's like, there's a strong one, there's a smart one, there's a sensitive one. And they give you different like descriptions as like what they mean. And really what it is like, it's your starting attributes essentially. Like a sensitive one has a higher empathy than the others and has like a higher suggestion.
Like building a character in D20 Modern to where you start off as a strong hero, fast hero, tough hero, then with skill trees based around that stat.
I've never played D20 Modern, but based on the sentence that you just said, yeah, it does sound like that. You've got all the skills. Like you can use any of the skills, but like you're starting.
So even as a sensitive hero, you could use a strong hero or a strong detective skill.
Even as a sensitive hero, I could use the skill. Like I could use like the physical skill. There's a skill for like physical, which is like anything that's like you exerting power over something. Yeah, I can still use it, but
You're just not gonna be as good at it.
My starting stat is a 2 as opposed to my psyche, which is 5.
Oh, okay.
But the reason I chose the sensitive character is because they give you like a rundown, and they're like, the sensitive character is more likely to go insane than the other characters. And it's like, oh, well, then that sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. And there is like, it makes me curious, like what playing like a strong character is like, because like I get shit all the time that is just like it goes on this fucking, like I'll be having a conversation with a woman about her boat, and then all of a sudden like there's this faculty called the inland, and like the inland is talking about all the people who died, who died in the lake that are underneath this boat, and it goes on for like a full paragraph, and then it's like because of that you get the option to just ask the lady about it, or like the person on the boat, where it's like, I don't know, freak this lady out. But it's one of those where it's like if that faculty hadn't popped up, you wouldn't have the option in the dialogue tree.
Oh, okay.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's neat. I love it. It is fucking amazing. And I am looking forward to getting back to it.
That does sound pretty good.
Huge recommend.
Yeah.
Huge recommend.
Okay.
I'm really ashamed. It's like,
on
fuck.
Steam?
Yeah, it's on Steam. I think it's on PlayStation 5 too. So it's probably on Xbox. Huge recommend so far.
Okay.
So, Phil, I think the last time you were on the show might have been Ghoul Patrol?
I
Simant?
think it was Sim
Sim Ant.
Sim Ant.
What have you been up to since Sim Ant?
What have I been up to since Sim Ant? Well, my son is now in high school.
Whoa.
My beloved 17-year-old cat died over the summer.
I'm sorry.
And I am having an extramarital affair with an older woman with some religious trauma. Her name's Shadowheart, and I love her, and she's my cat. So,
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. I have an important question.
yeah.
Has Harold Arthur shit on the floor since he's started high school?
If he has, he's done a fantastic job covering it.
But that's all that matters, really.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
But say, if he's in high school now, so you started watching the show probably when he was like 7 or 8 or younger.
I mean, on the floor. I hope it was young. I started listening to you guys like right when you came out. I remember because I got a what is it called? An Apple Podcast player. Fucking back in 2012. What were they called back then?
iPod?
An iPod. Yes, thank you. Got an iPod for Christmas back in 2012. Started working at a newspaper in 2013 and needed podcasts to listen to while I was at games, and you guys were one of the first ones that I picked up back then. So it's
Early
been
adopter.
pretty much since like episode 6 or 7.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
He's been in
It's
this.
been a while.
He's been in this game a lot longer than I have.
Not as long as Mike Purdue, but pretty close.
Yeah, Exalted Lord Mike was in super early.
Yeah. I did finish recently, I think my third D&D campaign ever, Curse of Strahd, after about 2 years.
Oh, damn. Nice.
Nice.
My group.
You were running this one?
No, I was a player.
You're
I
playing.
was PC. Which I believe, Dave, you had started. We had tried to start Curse of Strahd
Yeah.
a long time ago with Chandra and Tyler and myself and a few
Cousin
others,
David,
but,
Time Lord Josh Edwards.
Yep.
mhm.
Yeah, that's
I
a
think
tough one.
we were killed by the time zones. I mean, being 3 hours apart, it's really hard to do it. It was hard to do it with everybody on the West Coast. So,
Yeah.
But I am proud to say that I brought my character from that game back. Eustace, the root farmer,
Nice.
who died in a fiery fireball from one of the chief sub bosses, Baba Lysaga, in the game. But we were able to recover, play through. I picked up a Circle of Spores druid,
Nice.
who I roughly modeled after Danny DeVito.
Nice.
It ended up being a really fun campaign.
I'm in a Curse of Strahd game right now. I'm playing a druid, but I'm doing a wild shape druid, which I'd never done before.
Wise choice. Yeah.
Yeah, Circle of the Moon is like from like at level 2, it was insane. Because it was like, oh shit, we're crazy outnumbered. There's no way we'll defeat these things. It's like I'll just turn into a bear twice and just tank everything. Is that cool?
80 extra hit points is fine.
Right.
God damn.
Yeah, bears are like, Circle of the Moon. I'm curious how it's going to be later on. I'm sure it's going to taper off, but like in the early game, it's been really fucking like super crazy powerful.
Yeah. I would not do a Circle of Spores druid again. I thought it would be a fun synergy the way they can kind of raise the dead with their fungal spores, but in mechanically, there's a lot of spells that are necrotic based. There's a lot of spells that are Constitution save based, and those don't work against undead. So I felt like kind of ineffective for a lot of the second half of the game.
That makes sense.
Yeah, Dave played a druid in one of my games and kind of felt the same way since we were in the Underdark. And druids are fucking nerfed to all hell in the Underdark.
Yeah, I don't recommend playing a druid in the Underdark. It was not fun at all because a lot of stuff like, a lot of spells don't work because it's like, oh, you can't see the sky. Oh shit. Okay. Well, all right. Oh, I'll just wild shape into something. What animals have you seen? A beetle? I've seen a beetle. Have you seen a bear? No. Don't know what one of those is.
Oh, the range
Beetle,
on
I
this
got
is
covered.
200 feet plus. Oh, no, here's the little subtext. In Underdark is inches. Oh, okay.
Yeah, there were a few spells that were like specifically just like, this doesn't work as well in the Underdark. Yeah.
What else have you been doing, Phil?
But yeah, Halloween's was great. I do a setup every year on my driveway. Post COVID, I live on a street that's like adjacent to Halloween Central. We don't get a whole lot of trick-or-treaters because we're on a hill. So I post-COVID, I try to do an outdoor setup on the driveway so that I can kind of attract passers-by and set up a canopy with a whole display out front, and that seemed to be working pretty well. So I add a little bit more each year. This year, I did a homemade dice tower out of some Lego stuff that I had lying around, and so I would have like different bowls of candy depending on what you rolled, and allowed folks to roll a second time. Anything from king-size candy bars for if you roll a natural 20 to a toothbrush and fruit snacks if you roll a 1 or 2.
Love it.
So.
Now, Phil, you were
fun.
talking about you had concerns this year about the weather. Did you get decent weather, or were you rained on a lot?
It was shit. It was pretty bad. I mean, it was an Oregon Halloween. Like every other October, it's going to be drizzly and nasty. Hence the canopy that we have set up. But I'm starting to develop a good enough reputation within the neighborhood that we still get folks coming by anyway.
Nice.
And so it went well enough for what it is. Really, it's for me. And if the kids come by, that's great. But,
Right.
From like 5 until 7 o'clock, I'm essentially sitting in my driveway under a tent listening to spooky music.
Right, there you go.
That's a crowd of 0 people.
It's perfect. We had a pretty
Slamming shots of Fireball.
Yeah.
If you roll a 1, do you have to take a shot of Malort?
I wish we could get Malort out here. That is not anything that we get distributed out in Oregon.
We'll send you some.
Yeah, it's probably against the Geneva Convention for them to ship it outside of Chicago.
Speaking of Halloween, just while I'm thinking about it, if you guys want to see some cool pictures from the big Jefferson Street Halloween thing that goes on in Paducah every year, I did post some of those in the Discord, bit.ly/TADPOG Discord if you'd like
That
to take a
look
look.
absolutely bonkers.
Dude.
Yeah, Jefferson does it.
Wish we could get something like that over here.
It was crazy. We live a couple of blocks over from that area, and so we're able to just walk over, and it's a lot of fun. We just walk around and look at all the great costumes. If you watch the video of the guys that had the lights on their costumes and playing Thriller, and they were my favorite. There was a portable generator inside that cart, and they just walked up and down the street playing good music and dancing and stuff. It was a lot of fun this year. So yeah, if you want to see those pictures, I've got them posted. And if anyone's ever curious what the horror priestess Tanya looks like, there's a picture of her in there too. So anyway, sorry, Phil, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to mention that before I forgot it.
Oh no, you're good. No, it's I saw those pictures and it very much felt like 80s, 90s, the type of Halloween that you grew up going.
That was awesome.
Going from neighborhood to neighborhood.
It was like that. It's weird. The kids all stand in line at the houses to get candy.
Yeah.
It's just a line, just a constant line.
And Christian literature.
That's right. That's right. The Lone Oak Baptist Church was doing the Alice in Wonderland theme this year, but they weren't getting a lot of action. I think they were handing out pamphlets or something. I don't know.
Yeah, Henry got a pamphlet one year.
Well, if you live there, you can do that, I guess.
Yeah, look, it was fun. It was fun too, but it was also kind of like, man, you just gotta horn in on every holiday, huh? Okay.
Nope, not gonna let anybody have fun, are we? We're gonna try to get in on that.
Kind of the Christian mythos in general is like we're gonna take every holiday and turn it into ours.
Yes.
And your holidays will be absorbed,
assimilated,
into our entity.
I always thought it was weird how the Christian version of trick or treat was trunk or treat, where they do it in a parking lot where you get candy from people out of the back of their trunks.
This was my Halloween experience. Like Melissa telling me about going to door and door,
Yeah.
Is so
the way you do it.
I barely have any memories of that because I did it before maybe when I was 4 and 5 years old. Then my parents went to church and that was it for trick-or-treating. It did not happen. I remember knocking on from that early memory to whenever I was 16 and just took my arm inside my shirt and was the one-armed man, knocked on the door and got candy when I was 16. Nothing between that but trunk or treats.
So
isn't that
creepier though?
Fuck yeah.
It sounds
Fuck
creepier.
yes.
It's super
awful
creepy.
and it's stupid and the candy sucks and there's nothing fun about it.
Right.
It's just paranoid Christian bullshit and yeah, I hate it and I'm mad at my parents for taking that part of my youth away for church.
What is the paranoia? Is it like needles and candy bars and stuff?
Yep, that.
But someone could do that in a trunk, right?
But only Christians do give candy out of trunks, Dave.
They don't have a history of doing bad things.
Exactly.
I don't think you know the intense
cars.
vetting process that it takes to get a trunk.
You're right.
These trunk or treats.
You're right. I don't. I'm assuming there's a lot of paperwork involved.
Yeah, we're talking Trump at the border fucking vetting going on. Anybody can fucking come to I'm part of your church now. I love the God. Here, let me give your kids some candy.
Next year,
it's fucking stupid. Now I'm mad.
Next year, all your kids, and everybody in the van come down to my house and park and walk over to Jefferson.
Oh, see, there's no way. Even if my parents were atheists, they would have never taken me to Jefferson Street because, that's too much. We're not doing that. Never would they have ever taken
that's too far to drive.
Yeah. 1, too far to drive. 2, too far to park. 3, just too crazy. Yeah, never would have even considered it.
Oh, you got to come next year.
I've taken my children.
You've been down there. You've done it.
It is intense.
Okay.
But you do it for them because it is like a prime. That's the closest to trick-or-treating in a movie that you're ever going to see.
Yeah,
for sure.
It
And I will, I'll give them number 3. Jefferson Street Halloween is too intense for your parents.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Seeing those pictures made it look like this is what 80s throwback movies try to make 80s Halloween look like.
It's
Yeah.
idyllic. It's insane.
It's like, no, it actually still happens every now and then.
Yeah, it really does. It's fun. It's only been going on for, the last 10, 15 years, I think. It hasn't been a thing forever. But yeah, the cops are involved. They block off, 10 blocks of Jefferson, and
And it's so expensive for the people that live
They
there.
were talking about how they spend
much
something
money
like
they spend on
$3,000 to $4,000 in candy. Now that being said, most of the people that participate in this can
That's pre-COVID numbers. So don't tell them what it is now.
They can
true.
afford it. Believe me, it's not cheap to have a big house on Jefferson. I promise. But yeah, it is. It's idyllic. It's just like the movies, and it's a lot of fun, especially when you live close by and you can just walk over. We don't have it. It's no trouble for us to just walk several blocks and we're done.
Yeah, you avoid all the pain that it is.
Right.
Yeah.
No finding parking, no having to, stay too long or not long enough. It's nice to live down in that part of town.
The parking's really not that bad.
It's not but a lot of people just don't know where to go to park, and so they find what they can, and it can be daunting for someone who doesn't live in town.
Sure, that makes sense.
Yeah. Tyler?
Let's see. I also kept the Nightmare on Elm Street chain running, and I streamed it on Halloween, the NES game.
Okay.
Nice. Did you beat it? I know you got close.
I didn't see that. I wish I had.
Before we recorded.
I had totally a new set of, now that I knew more of what I was doing, but I had an entirely different set of problems this time. I ended up dying because I couldn't enter any of the levels. I just couldn't do it. I ended up trying to go in, and just the enemies kept spawning, and eventually they war of attrition, fast spawning enemies, and I could not enter the levels.
You got my achievement.
Yeah.
Then, because that was actually what happened to me. I could not get into some levels
because I had Big Dick Pie Maker Chris and Derek Pope Sandwich helping me out, looking up tips and tricks while I was doing it, and they gave me the order that the first 3 houses are random, then it's an order. So I got through the first houses, I got through the junkyard, I had to go to the graveyard. That's the next level. I had the key, I had everything, I just couldn't enter. No matter what I did, I could not go into it until I died. It pissed me the fuck off.
Sounds like a nightmare.
Yep. But now I also know that once you unlock a Dream Warrior costume, you don't lose it. I thought each one you got was one use, essentially.
Oh, no, you get to keep it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's a game changer.
I probably would have lasted longer had I been using the costumes, because I was asleep the whole time, because once I fell asleep, there's no boombox outside.
Right.
So I was just in the dream for 30 minutes until I died. So that would have made things a little bit easier. I probably would have lasted longer to try to enter the level, but yeah, it sucked. But I had fun playing it until that point. It was a fun stream, because I haven't streamed in a long time.
No, you haven't. I'm glad you were doing that. I wish I had known I'd have joined you.
So I thought, I've got an hour on Halloween before we have to do anything, so I did that.
Before the trunk or treat.
Yeah, before I'd load Jack up and ruin his Halloween. Let's see. Other than that, Jack had to go. We went to Louisville for his checkup from his last surgery. I really wish telehealth was a thing, because I drove 3 hours up there. The doctor looked at his incisions and went, "Okay, good. They're not infected. Bye." We drove 3 hours back.
Did you get to have fun in Louisville at all?
We both had to work the next day, so we went. We went somewhere to eat that I thought would be good, and then it wasn't. Which I hate when that happens.
Yeah,
that made me very sad.
What kind of food was it?
It was it was sort of a trendy Japanese place.
Okay.
The menu looked awesome, sounded awesome. When I got there, it was just like we were adding soy sauce from the table to get flavor in the fucking meal.
Oh, boy.
It was just, it wasn't too expensive, so I wasn't too heartbroken over there. But it was just like, oh well, I'm sorry we wasted our trip to Louisville on this food that kind of sucks.
What did you order?
I ordered it was a Mexican Japanese fusion.
Okay.
I ordered al pastor bibimbap.
That sounds like that would be flavorful.
Yeah, canned fucking pineapple in it.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
and then like the pork with and everything. But yeah, Melissa got the orange chicken, and it was still like she doesn't like a lot of sauces, so she just got the orange sauce for the chicken, but didn't want all the extra mayos on it. And she was just like, "Yeah, I could have done this at home with stuff we had right now." But they did have amazing Japanese toilets in the bathroom.
Ooh.
Best thing about going there was the Japanese toilet that was like, super hot when you sat down on it.
Nice.
And
Like, did you have the option of like how hot you wanted it?
I did not expect it when I sat down. It was like, whoa.
Oh, shit.
But yeah, I didn't see an option to turn it on or off. It was just on, and it was set to pretty fucking warm.
Set to puree.
Set to sear.
Yeah, it had a nice. The bidet water was warm.
I don't know. How do I feel
when
about
I had
warm
one, it
bidet
was
water?
cold.
Yeah.
So cold is just really bracing.
I
But
know.
The warm water was
It's
nice.
great. Makes you feel like a
Dilate
man.
your asshole.
Yeah. It's
Relaxes it.
like I feel like if this were warm, it'd be like gay or something. But because it's cold, it is hetero as fuck.
I like a good hetero bidet. Don't give me one of those gay bidets.
Excuse me, Amazon. I think you sent me the wrong bidet.
This is warm.
Made me wonder what a man's tongue would be like with this warm water. I want a cold, bracing, like,
Now I may have sucked off 3 guys, but it's the bidet's fault. They're not gonna look. I got a trunk or treat to go to later. They can't know about this.
I'll be banned. Amazon, please. I'll be banned from the trick or treats.
It's part of the vetting process. They check the temperature of our bidet water.
Sir, you've called Dairy Queen.
Let's see. Although besides that, just work and everything. But I do have. Sorry, Phil. If you can play imaginary things to try.
Okay.
So I
Oh,
do.
yeah, I forgot
I'll
about
listen.
this.
The first thing I will hand out, Dave, if you don't want a full one, I understand.
What is it?
I did not think I would.
Is
be
it
able to
warm bidet
find
water?
these.
Because you're right. I wouldn't want. I don't want
It's
to.
similar.
Okay.
Because I've got that here.
It's carbonated though.
It's carbonated. I did not think I'd be able to find this because they stopped selling it on like the 31st, and I checked everywhere.
Is it more Beetlejuice Fanta?
No, this is much better.
Okay.
So this is the 7-Up Shirley Temple.
Oh, I saw these at
Oh, wow.
Walmart the other day. They had a whole bunch of them.
Is this a bold, full sugar?
It is. I could not find the zero sugar ones.
Yeah, man.
anywhere.
I don't want a full one, but I definitely want to try it. Do you have like little cups or something? I know at one point we had little
Yes.
red plastic cups.
Yeah, you take some and I'll drink the rest.
Okay,
Or
yeah.
whatever.
There we
There
go.
went the cups.
We got the one that we needed.
So and then I was upset. Yeah.
Damn.
Which
You got
I
me.
anticipated that to be amazing because I'd read like for a stunt soda, like 7-Up nails it.
Stunt like a special like
Yeah.
vanity project.
Yeah.
Soda. Cool.
Did you want to have some too? while
I've
we're at it?
I've
You've
had
it?
one. I'm
Okay.
good. So please
Should
let
we
me
go
know.
ahead and drink it now, or
Yeah,
should we
please.
wait? Okay.
Go ahead. 7-Up Shirley Temple.
It's okay, but the follow up, the pomegranate, I don't think I care for.
See, I too thought it was okay. I was very excited for it. Trying that, it's like, oh, I don't even care to really try to find the zero sugar. It's okay.
I've not ever heard of putting pomegranate in a Shirley Temple.
Yeah, that's what's different. It's cherry and pomegranate.
I would really like this as like a dipping for a vanilla cone. I feel like
Oh,
that'd be really
If
nice.
Dairy Queen had a Shirley
Yeah.
triple dip.
That's okay.
So I was upset because I got my subscription for the monthly
The
Final
sour
Boss
box.
Sour, and then they also had level 4 grapes.
Right.
So I bought both. I got the monthly subscription box, and then they did not send me the grapes. They just sent me a box of level 1 cranberries. And I emailed. I was like, "Hey, I want the grapes that I bought."
Right.
And they emailed me back, "Sorry, we're out. Can we send you something else?" And I was like, "What else level 4 you got?" And I'm waiting for them to say something back.
That sucks.
Yeah, it does suck.
Yeah, made me sad.
Did they
but
refund your money for the candy
No.
that you didn't want? Oh,
No.
that
They
really
said they would
sucks.
just send me something else. Like, well, if you can send me something else that I want, that's good. So what I have here, what they sent me for October is Frankenstein food.
Frankenstein food.
So it's
Feed my Frankenstein.
feed my. So it is a level 3 kiwis, apricots, cherries, and prunes.
Okay.
So I didn't know if there'd be enough. I don't know how much is in here for us each to try. I have not tried these. I've waited. I let the kids try, but I have not. So I don't know if you guys want I'll pass that down. If you can get one of each, we'll all try.
Frankenstein food. Okay.
It's very juicy.
Like the shorts. Okay, that's a plum. That's a plum. I'm just shaking these out. Let's see what we. That's
probably an apricot.
apricot. Okay, all right. Going. So many fucking plums. What's this? A green pepper?
Kiwi.
All right, kiwi.
I imagine the cherries and the prunes will be kind of hard to differentiate.
All right. There's some. I don't know. Can you identify a cherry? Let me turn a flashlight on. I think
they're all prunes.
those are prunes.
Yeah.
It's like a fucking Dick Tracy movie in here.
I think we got that might be a cherry right there.
Right. And I think there's one right there too.
Okay.
There's two cherries, I think. Over there.
I won't be having a
Oh.
prune because I've been trying to eat a very fiber rich diet.
This might push it over the edge.
I don't need that right this
Okay,
second.
now I
got
can tell
you.
the cherries are just a lot smaller than the prunes. Okay.
Let's see. I need like a little thing. All right, I'm gonna do this.
Okay. You can do an apricot?
We'll do
an
apricots first.
Yeah.
All right.
Level 3 sour Frankenstein food apricot.
That's good.
That is good.
I don't taste the apricot as much.
Not really.
The sour really balances that out pretty well. It's all kind of
It's mild by comparison. I like that one.
I do too. I'm surprised. Mm-hmm. All right, what do you guys want to try next?
The green pepper.
All right.
The kiwi.
Yeah.
Kiwi. Is there another one over there, Ian?
Yeah.
There's one. I don't like kiwi, so this little bitty one will be great.
All right.
Well, that's sour. Mm-hmm. That's good.
A little more leathery, more texture than
Yeah,
apricot.
Leathery.
harder to chew.
It's a good adjective for that.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, I like that one.
I'll do
Kiwi flavor kicks in at the end. I actually didn't mind that. That was
Yeah,
pretty
that's
good.
pretty nice.
I know you don't want to.
I'm not gonna do a
Not gonna do a prune. I'm gonna have a prune.
Yeah, Dave, I'll try prune with you. I like
Okay.
prunes.
Yeah, it's okay. They really like hold the sour
Do they?
flavor. Mm-hmm.
'Cause my dad loves prunes.
Is there a small prune? I'll try a small prune. Find one's more.
Is that a prune?
I don't know.
I think that's a prune.
That one?
Yeah, that's the smallest one I see.
This one's fairly small too, Ian.
Well, I've already touched this one, so I'm going to eat it. Fuck it.
Oh, Ian's shitting himself right now. And I didn't expect to be turned on, but here we are.
That is sour.
Yeah, right?
good.
Yeah.
I like that.
Now the cherry.
Yep,
Wait,
I got it.
now, do I have a cherry here?
I think that's a cherry.
Okay, yeah.
And I think I have one as well.
Oof.
Sorry if I shine. Did I shine that?
No, it
in?
was the sour. It just got me again.
All right, sour cherry.
Hell yes. Oh my God.
Oh, that's good. Oh, that flavor.
That is the best one, especially at the end there. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
the best
that's
one.
really good. They're like black cherries.
Yeah.
These cookies.
Cookies.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah,
that's a
good
prune.
stuff. I'm gonna eat that apricot.
And then lastly,
Oh, there's more.
try to end with sweet. Every now and then, Sam's Club will have.
Looks like wonton soup.
It is the kind of container you would find. They'll have. Shit! Why did it just leave me?
Cookies. Biscuits.
Yes, the French kind.
Macaroons?
Jean Maldonne. Yes, macarons.
Macaron.
Macaroon are the American coconut versions. the
Jean-Claude
macarons.
Van Damme loves macarons.
So Sam's Club actually has really fucking good ones. In a
Phil,
big
is that
multi-bag.
right? Does he love them?
It is true.
Okay.
Oh, I have no idea.
So here,
Oh, those look good.
I'll give you each a raspberry macaron, and then here is a amaretto macaron.
I do not want an amaretto. I do not like amaretto.
Thank you, sir.
That one I can definitely say I do not care for. Raspberry.
For
Raspberry?
for the cost, the amount, and variety, they're fucking good.
Okay.
Raspberry macaron.
Here we go.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, that's good.
That is really good.
It reminds me of something,
Me
but I don't
too.
know what it is.
No,
I can't
neither.
put my finger on it.
I mean, it's gonna come to me, but it does me too. Man,
That's really good.
that's delicious.
They don't always have it, but every time I see them, I definitely get a box.
Yeah.
And Dave, I'll eat the amaretto one with you,
Okay.
or amaretti, as it says on the.
Amaretti
Packaging.
macaron.
Come. Unfortunately, after the raspberry, this tastes like nothing.
Yeah. I think it's kind of a very subtle almondish flavor.
I got it at the very, very end.
So after a raspberry, most definitely. The kids kind of devoured all the rest because there was chocolate fudge, vanilla bean,
Ooh.
chocolate orange, and lemon. Lemons
Oh.
are my favorite.
I would like to
chocolate
try all
orange.
those. Yeah, those sound good. I was at Sam's Club today. I should have looked. I didn't know. I would have
Over in
gotten
the
some
frozen
more.
section.
Okay.
I fuck with these and I fuck with Sam's Sushi. Both good shit.
I've heard good things about Sam's
Oh,
Sushi.
I was very surprised.
They make it right there.
Right there in front of you. Yeah.
Thanks for bringing this stuff, man.
No problem.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm going to continue to snack on this bag of freaking food.
Can I have another kiwi?
Please.
I didn't think I would want one, but here we are.
Phil, I hope you enjoyed that.
It was delightful. Audio orgasms all around.
Well, we want to roll into some Timecop talk.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. God, yes.
Guess what? Go on, guess what I might have.
A Tadpog Totals.
I do have a Tadpog Totals. And when I finish chewing on this kiwi, I will read it.
You don't want to do it while you're chewing on the kiwi? Could be fun.
There we go. Phil, when did this movie come out?
It was released
19
September 16th, 1994.
Correct. Yes, that is. I can
Because the
confirm.
USA Today was 2004 in the beginning.
In the
Yeah,
movie,
it was.
yeah.
It
Sure.
was.
2004.
Everything happened in October. Like every time they would go back in time, it would be October something.
It's an election-based movie, so it was happening
Exactly.
right before the October or the November 2004 election.
Yeah, and it's weird that Tanya pointed out that we were watching it. You know, it was an election kind of movie, and we were watching it. 2 days before the election. So
It's themed. This is why we're doing this,
yes,
isn't it?
Oh,
we
man.
absolutely planned this.
I thought it was weird
Do
that
an
they.
election episode.
I thought it was weird that they successfully predicted the candidates for the 2004 election. I thought that was interesting.
I love
There was
Time
a white
Cop.
supremacist party that was.
Yeah, it was. It was. I love Time Cop. It's one of my all-time favorite sci-fi movies. I love Jean-Claude Van Damme in this. Great movie for me. I love it. So I do have a Tadpog Totals list, and I'm going to read that right now. The 1994 sci-fi classic Time Cop starring Jean-Claude Van Damme and Mia Sara. Starting with 1 Old West Machine Gun Massacre, 1 rollerblading purse snatcher foiling, 1 walker that's not a Texas Ranger, blatant Nissan product placement, blatant Ruffles placement, 2 breasts, 1 set of buttocks, 1 saxophone accompanied sex scene, 2 front yard ass kickings, 1 weirdly explosive house, 1 old fashioned boxing versus kung fu fight that lasts exactly 1 second, 1 corrupt senator with a ridiculously punchable face, loud peanut eating, VR porn at work, several unnecessarily futuristic cars. God, the fucking cars in this movie. Kitchen counter splits, Timu Wesley Snipes, semi-truck dodging, one-time travel pregnancy reveal, several long-haired villains that would have fit right in Tango and Cash. If you haven't seen it, go watch it now. one set of metal shin guards, strongest house gutters I've ever seen, and, past and present self-merging. Wisdom Sage's acting brilliant thank you awards go to Bruce McGill as Commander Eugene Matuzak for saying, "Damn it, Ricky, if I catch you fucking this machine again, I'll break your neck." To Ron Silver as Senator McComb for saying, "Don't interrupt me when I'm talking to myself." And that's C4. It will not only turn this house to dust, it will separate every part of you from every other part of you. I thought that was a good line.
Thank you for pointing that out.
You're welcome. And
I
finally,
also want to add one. I also want to add one for the son. Dad, Mom said you'd barbecue hot dogs.
thank you.
One line.
One line in the whole movie. And he's like,
Uber.
yeah,
Prime barbecuing season.
absolutely.
A member of SAG.
The next award for Ron Silver goes for him saying, finally, "When I'm in office, it's going to be just like the 80s. The top 10% will get richer and the other 90% can immigrate to Mexico where they can get a better life." Weirdly appropriate for this time of year. And finally, the last Wisdom Sage's Acting Brilliant Thank You Awards for this list goes to Jean-Claude Van Damme as Max Walker for saying, "I saw Tyson beat Spinks on TV, and I'll tell you this, if I can't go back to save her, this scumbag is not going back to steal money."
Fair.
And that is my Tadpog Totals list for Timecop. I love this movie. I love it. I watched it, having not seen it in a while. I watched it over the weekend.
Uh-huh.
And was extremely glad that it still works for me. It was still a good movie for me. So,
I hadn't seen it before.
had you not?
Nope.
Okay.
Sure hadn't.
Nor had I.
I thought it was a really fun movie.
It was fun.
I liked it.
Me too. Good. What about you, Tyler? What'd you think?
Yep.
Do you like it? No? I know you're not a movie guy, so I tend to think of you as sort of the voice of the other side of that coin a lot of times. So
I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. It's probably on the bottom of my Jean-Claude Van Damme list of movies. Some stuff were entertaining. Some stuff was schlocky. The ending had Melissa and I fucking rolling.
Because their house looks exactly like it did, like nothing, like it
Right.
didn't blow up into 1,000 pieces.
I mentioned that to Tony, like, who the fuck is their builder?
It's the two aliens from Critters. Because
yeah.
Nikki and I were watching it, and I looked at her and I was like, "Remember the end of Critters, where those two European-looking aliens like press a button on a remote control, and then all the footage of the house exploding is reversed?" That's what happened in Timecop. We just didn't see the footage being reversed.
Gotcha. Okay.
Well, because the merging, the merging, that's what Melissa and I were just like, damn it. And then of course she's about to fall asleep at the very end, when I'm then like all my time rules like, why? Where's the other him?
Yeah, no, don't think about that. No.
Why would he come? Okay.
No, I like early on in the movie, I was kind of like thinking like that, and I was like, "This is not that kind of movie. This is like the time travel." Yeah,
Take me down to the Paradox City.
Yeah. It's like also like I know we're like talking about the end of the movie at the beginning, which is
Right.
weird, but that end of the movie where like the house blows up and everything, and it's like
Which happens in the beginning as well.
that is true. You're right. Time. That's another thing. Like I looked at Nikki and I was like, if that woman has that baby, there's like that's the most far-fetched thing in this movie, that this baby was not miscarried during like
that.
being like shot at and like hanging off a gutter, falling off the gutter,
Yeah.
a house exploding. It's like, man,
She's got a tough wound.
that's a strong
Yeah,
ass
Melissa
baby.
was like, why are they all
Massively
crawling
strong
on the
uterus.
wet roof? Why? Why is all of this on the wet roof? I was like, yeah, I don't know.
far more exciting that way.
Because his policeman's salary can afford it. That's why.
Right. Phil, I know you like this movie, right?
Yes, it's not in my top Van Damme movies. You do need to turn off. You can look at this movie from a time travel standpoint and get really disappointed
Yeah.
in all the plot holes in it,
Yeah.
or you can just kind of like turn that part of your brain off and decide, oh, what, I don't care where the time pod capsule goes when they go back
Right.
in time. I'm just going to like forget that those things happen. Keep in mind the bad guy's entire plan involves blowing himself up at the end of the movie, sacrificing himself because he knows that his past self will become president in a later timeline. That doesn't erase the fact that he is still killing himself to make this plan happen. So I'm really having a hard time kind of understanding what his motivation was for all of this. But it's Van Damme's highest grossing movie as an individual.
Really?
It is.
It was kind of the
beginning of the end for him, actually.
Peak Van Damme. You got this. You had Sudden Death, also done by the same director, Peter Hyams. You had, I think this is the same year that Street Fighter came out. So
It is
literally the apex of Van Damme's kind of acting career in the 90s. And you
Yeah.
know, as far as a solo action movie star goes, it's not as good as some. It's better than others. I give it, solid 7 out of 10.
Yeah, he after this, after Street Fighter, he started demanding like Jim Carrey money. He was asking for like $12 million a movie, which is what Jim Carrey was earning at. And we're talking early 90s Jim Carrey, who could ask for fucking anything and he would have gotten it. And because he had made $8 million for Street Fighter, and he was trying to get it up to 12, and the studios were for everything, and he wanted to get signed on to a bunch more projects at that rate, and the studios were like, "Nope, we'll find someone else. Bye." And so he started getting into, he was abusing substances, and things kind of went downhill for him, and he ended up having to go into rehab, and he made it through rehab successfully and whatnot. But he was kind of a dick to people, and just sort of made several bad moves in Hollywood that kind of got him taken off the
list. He had
list.
a pretty widely known, or at least known now, like cocaine problem.
Yeah.
Huge cocaine.
Oh, I thought by
problem
substance
in the
abuse you meant Kylie Minogue's vagina. Because from what I've read, he abused that severely during the filming of Street Fighter, the movie.
We don't
Well,
talk about that.
That brings up my favorite IMDb trivia item on Timecop, which is this was the second film starring Jean-Claude Van Damme to be released by Universal in '94. The other, the video game adaptation of Street Fighter, that also co-starred the late Raul Julia, was released 3 months after this film on Christmas Day and had a successful run at the box office. Street Fighter also starred Kylie Minogue, who once sang a song about trains.
That would be Locomotion, coming from a
14 people
hardcore
found that helpful.
hardcore Kylie Minogue fan. I can confirm.
But my favorite bit of media about Kylie Minogue is her performing on SNL, and then you see the camera sort of pan to the side of the stage back in the wings, and Ian McKellen is sitting there on his ass fucking jamming out so hard to Kylie Minogue.
Listen, Kylie's a big deal. Kylie's a big deal, especially at home in Australia. She's still putting out good stuff. She's doing good. I know she listens, so hi, Kylie.
Hi, Kylie.
Big fan.
Want to let us abuse that substance, or
That's the substance.
I mean, your vagina sounds like it'd be a lot of fun.
It's upside down.
couldn't
It's
be
Australian.
finer? Cool. I like it when it's like that.
The clit's on the bottom. Yeah.
Cool.
So let's see.
I like that they get into a car to drive to the past. I thought that was fun.
Yeah, that was what Phil was talking about, because it was like, why do we? Okay, so they walk out. So sometimes they'll fall into the water from 30 feet up. They fall into the reflecting pool
And
in
then
front of the back house, the
And
White House.
Sometimes
or
5 of them will appear at once, which makes me wonder, like, do they have like a minivan version of the car that they get in?
Yeah, they just kind of casually walk out.
Right.
Like, why are they not? Why is the time enforcement company? What? No, TEC. What is the C?
It's an agency.
It's the
Because
agency.
fucking Ricky, with all of his robot porn, is too busy jacking off to virtual
Yeah.
sex to
Hell yeah.
coordinates.
Except that one timeline where he's like in a suit and shit.
Yeah.
Right.
some
Yeah, that's
reason.
great. Is like when the bad guy wins, like in the bad timeline, Ricky is a stand-up like businessman. He dresses well. He like takes showers. He looks great.
I feel like we're judging a book by its cover, guys. I think we need to be fair to Ricky. I mean, we don't know that he was not a piece of shit when he was dressed like a businessman.
It's true.
He hit it well, at least.
Yeah.
He wasn't like actively watching virtual porn at work.
You say that like it's a bad thing.
Because Melissa and I were very like,
What the fuck is this?
Shift
I know.
to bolt on tits porn
I know,
star in a
right?
bed.
My takeaway to that was, come on, Ricky, like
You could do better.
you could do better. Like it's when it's revealed to be virtual reality, it's like I don't know.
Well, there's
By
a
the way,
story.
To my second favorite IMDb trivia.
Yeah,
which
I know-
is
I
that
know
the
it feels-
entire nude scene was supposed to be a nature documentary about beavers, but the film team got drunk the night before and ended up in a strip bar and woke up and missed the bus, so they found one of the dancers and shot her as like the virtual sex scene. That was
Yeah.
the makeup shot.
Hey baby, want to be in a movie? Is exactly I feel like that line was said to that dancer.
And then they were like, no, really.
We mean it.
We mean it. We really want you to be in this movie.
It's got Bruce McGill.
Yes. Yes, it does.
You need a good-natured management character actor. He's who you go to in the mid.
Bruce McGill like nailed it in this movie for me. I love his dialogue was some of the best. It
I
sounded
kept waiting for a heel turn from him, like he would be a double agent, like
Right. He's like, I'm
like
your best
Fields
friend.
was. And he's awesome. He's
he is
great all the way through.
He is
I
great.
love Bruce McGill.
Then I had forgotten about how they send an internal affairs agent back with him to make sure he's doing it right.
Which
And
that made Melissa happy because she's on ER and she
Right.
watches ER
Oh, that lady's on ER?
24/7. Yeah.
And she ended up being the traitor. And I'd forgotten about that, actually.
I like
being
that
a
part in
thing.
the movie.
Yeah.
I like that part a lot. Yeah.
Nice little twist.
Mm-hmm.
There was some good kung fu in this movie. I like watching Van Damme like kick people in the face. Like he's fully like 90 degrees or up in his foot is up in someone's face and it's like he smacks him with his foot. Like his
Like
style.
like he slaps him with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just puts his leg up there and then uses his foot to like I challenge you to a duel.
Yeah. I love that shit.
Or he spills water on the floor.
And the counter splits.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he narrowly misses the 50,000 volt.
I like that scene. I like when the bad guy tells us how many volts is in
Right.
the
50,000 volts, motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm watching like shit, that's a lot.
How's he going to get out of this?
Fuck.
Counter split.
Oh shit. I really did like that scene.
It was cool.
Yeah, it's
It
a
was
great scene. It's a great scene. It's like it is one of those where it's like you do have to turn your brain like I don't know you have to turn it off
Because it will
but-
trigger epilepsy.
but you do need to be like in the right mindset. And like in the very beginning of the movie where I saw like the rollerblading purse snatcher, like just the way that dude was dressed, I was like, okay.
90th white dude ever.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I know what kind of movie this is. Now let me just adjust my expectations in my brain. All right. And we're now at a point where I can enjoy this movie.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought.
Early. They give
Go
you a
ahead.
heads up early that it's going to be a schlocky film.
They do.
Yeah.
And it's called Timecop. That's like another
Right.
another indicator.
There's your sign, right? It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Clearly, this movie is about a time traveling cop of some sort,
Right.
Right. So you kind of does set the expectation.
They abolish windshields.
Yeah, the cars, man.
The cars are funny.
God,
dude.
they're so bad.
real
I
funny.
told Tanya, I said it looks like what Elon Musk must have drawn when he was like 2.
Right. I know.
This is Elon Musk at 2 designing cars.
I had the thought that he saw this movie and was like,
We should do that.
They were going to do that.
Cybertruck.
Yeah.
What if the
truck.
What if the Technodrome was a sedan?
He was going to call it Time Truck, see? Because of
What are we
Timecop.
gonna do with all these broken down Winnebagos?
What were you saying, Tyler?
It's like, what if this Technodrome was a sedan?
Yes. Right. And it's funny because it's like, it reminded me like the Griswolds because
Yeah,
it's like they
does.
took
Clearly
like a
that
station wagon that
frame.
has like a grill on it.
These tiny little
And then, like,
tires
yeah.
on the
and then they just
bottom.
like glue fucking like refrigerator doors inside.
Why did it have a gunwale at the front? Like a cylinder at the front that looked like they took the machine gun off the front.
I know,
you know what
right?
I mean?
Yes,
it's just
I do.
So weird.
Yeah.
God,
I
it was.
love that
Go ahead.
10 years in the future, the only things that are different are guns are wildly different, cars are wildly different, and there's time travel, and everything else is exactly the same.
Hell yeah! VR porn, man.
Thank you. 4 things. 4 things.
Yeah. And I also think it's funny how they like aren't really consistent with their time travel rule because like in the very beginning in that board meeting, it's explained to
Set
us.
the rules down immediately.
Yeah, they're like it's explained to us you can only travel backwards in time.
Because the future hasn't been determined yet.
Right. But then people are able to go back to their time, which is technically the future, right?
Yep.
The entire plot revolves around like the present being infiltrated by people from the future.
Right. Yes.
It hasn't happened yet.
The best explanation of time travel in any movie has been Endgame, Avengers Endgame, and they start jokingly naming all of the time travel movies that they can think of, and Timecop makes the list along with Back to the Future and Hot Tub Time Machine and all this stuff, and it's funny how they just basically debunk all of that, and they're like, no, that's not how it works, and then they give kind of a reasonable explanation as to how time travel works, but. Yeah, there's a lot of paradox happening in this movie.
Well, if they can understand and navigate time travel, why don't they take off the 1700s property of the Confederate Army off of the gold that they used to then?
Oh, we've had this in my family this whole time. We've had it all along. And now I'm going to spend
Just
it.
reforge the gold bars, maybe,
Right.
and then make them untraceable.
Right.
So no one really knows that you're
Just
fucking
gold.
with time.
I find it preposterous that in order to win this election, the easier route is to go back in time and steal Confederate gold instead of just like doing some phone banking fundraising.
Don't think Donald Trump hasn't thought of that. He watched Timecop. He's like, why aren't we doing this, people? Confederate gold. That's the answer.
Oh, never mind.
Political makeup of this election is kind of interesting because they do give you these little hints here and there from the news clips where there's an incumbent president and the independent party is 6 points behind. So now apparently in 10 years, the independent party is the second biggest party in the United States. And then whatever party that Ron Silver's character is representing is like way, way, way in the back. Not even getting the same government matching funds that the white supremacist party is getting. Just absolutely bonkers what they consider the 2004 like political sphere to look like.
I felt like
Well, I mean, look at their idea of what cars are going to look like. I mean, you know.
We're called the Time Tyrant Party. That's
I also feel like it's one of those where it's like this movie's not going to be relevant in 10 years, right? We could just, I mean, we just take some swings, right?
Why not? Demolition Man did it. We can do it too.
I like how
This thing takes-
Go ahead, Phil.
Oh, I was just going to say, this thing takes place October 20th, mostly, 2 weeks before the presidential election, and they're talking about Ron Silver's character is going to need to drop out of the race because he doesn't have enough money to finish the final 2 weeks of the campaign.
Right. Just right there, almost made it. We just ran out of money. Well, I guess it's over.
Guess the only option left is time
travel.
Good thing I decided to chair that committee.
Yep.
That was fortuitous.
We think somebody already has. Wow, that's strange.
Huh.
I'm a new senator. I'll head this up. Who he looks just like my last company's boss to a really strange degree. And I told Melissa, like, whoa, that looks like this guy's name.
Did he have a scar on his face
Just
from being
suddenly
kicked by
appeared.
Jean-Claude Van Damme?
Well, at least he had the foresight to cover that up when he has the scar.
Yeah.
Because 2 points. One, whenever current future Van Damme goes back and sees his wife, and his wife is just like, what has happened to you?
I grew my hair out a
His
little.
my hair's a little longer. What has happened to you?
Would my cyst get bigger on my forehead?
And then the other, whenever at the end when he comes back and he's just like, what happened to Senator McComb? And the director gives
Immediately, it's just that piece of trivia.
well, he just 10 years ago he just disappeared, and then that's the closest
they were
thing in
just
a
talking
movie
about
I've
that.
seen to she hasn't lived here in 50 years.
Don't you remember? He canceled all of his appointments at
Right.
October 20th. And then
It was the weirdest thing. We were just talking about that over lunch. It's funny you bring it up. Oh, McComb, you don't remember? It's a part of our history. We talk about it all the time. It's on this T-shirt. That guy's wearing a T-shirt that says it right there. Call it Senator McComb Day.
Never forget.
To celebrate, we all cancel all of our appointments.
And just go off the grid.
Why don't you just don't schedule appointments that day? It's not in the spirit of the holiday. I don't think you understand.
You got to make them, and then you cancel them.
It's very un-American of you.
why did they have a big concrete wall at the end of the launch track?
Just to end it all.
To have
That
two
feels
blood
like
spots.
Yep.
Like they could have just built another 100 yards of track if it goes wrong. Well, it'll just slow
Nope.
down.
That's all the distance they have to go to 88 miles an hour so they can kick in.
At first, I was like, I thought that, I was like, okay, so watching this movie the first time, there's the wall there that has the blood spots from the
Yeah.
twins. And I was like, all right, so the reason that this is so expensive, time travel is so expensive, is because they destroy a car every time they travel. I thought that was part of it. Like they
Right.
had to like crash the car into the wall, and then like that kinetic energy or whatever.
right, yeah.
Like fuel.
Makes sense.
No, it doesn't
Nope,
work
it's
that
just
way.
there to kill them.
Whenever he comes back, I was laughing because the car just shows up again and it's driving
It's in the other direction. Yeah.
It's the Mr. Freeze ride at Six Flags. where you-
Only it turns itself around.
I thought that was really funny. Yeah. I like the movie, but it's like, but that's part of why I like the movie.
Right.
Because it's
just the things that they put in it that
well, it's a little Total Recall-ish right at the end when they transform, then you see like their faces distort. Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Talking of distortion, let's talk about when McCombs is like past self is shoved into his future self.
love that
They
shit.
set that up like super early in the movie.
yeah.
They're like,
Listen, we have to
Same matter, can't occupy the same
we
space.
have to tell you this, and it's very important that you listen and know that the one thing that you need to
Right.
remember,
and I was like, oh, cool. I can't wait for that to happen.
right? I know
'Cause, like,
what's gonna
yeah,
happen.
that's definitely gonna happen.
They got to do that.
And then you get this like fucking Alex Mack slurry, like
Yes.
this CG liquid metal blood thing.
I thought flesh-colored Ivan Ooze from the Power Rangers movie.
And then they're like, should we throw in an extra set of teeth? And yes, of course. Let's just put
Glimmering
teeth.
Mouther. Perfect. Let's do it.
I loved it.
Oh, then you'll love the substance.
Cool.
And just whenever, like the dumb sidekick, whenever his past self just walks in behind him. Oh, you told me to come here.
I know.
I got real smart in the next 10 years, but right now I don't know my ass from a hole in the ground.
Canceled all my appointments even, so I could be here for this.
I don't know if you've heard, but I have canceled all of my appointments.
I'm definitely going to reschedule them when I get back to the office.
I followed the letter in the envelope to exactly when you gave it to me.
This is one of those movies where the entire conflict of the plot could be resolved relatively easy. Like the entire thing is Max Walker chasing Senator McComb across various time, trying to implicate him in these crimes, but there's no evidence. When all they needed was a body camera to record all the instances of Walker and McComb meeting each other in various parts of 1994.
Whoa. What do you think this is, 2014? Come on. Body cameras? That technology's out of our reach at this point.
All we
Even
need,
now, cops don't have to wear them, so it still wouldn't work.
all we need are eyewitness testimony. That's all that we need. And these eyewitnesses definitely won't die every time.
No chance.
Even my partner, who said they'll go back and kill my family, and when I brought him in, refused to say anything, and we just killed him outright.
He says,
we have no probing technology, only time travel
I
technology.
love when McComb says,
Justice system at the TEC is so fast.
oh, it is.
From arrest to execution in
Judge Dredd.
I am the law.
I am the law, exactly.
That's what I was thinking of Judge
Yeah.
Dredd during that scene.
Uh-huh. I love when McComb at the end tells him, you're no better than me. You're changing the past. And he's like, I'm making it right because you're the one that fucked with the past. So now I'm going back to correct what you did because this isn't what was supposed to happen.
And I was like, if you say so.
Yeah.
Whatever you have to tell yourself.
Good plan. Because, whatever. He's right about you. You're doing it. You're changing shit.
Right, exactly.
The past is the past.
Who knows
remember?
what the future is going to be?
Exactly.
Right.
And as a person who works in a hospital, the security response time, whenever that nurse starts shouting for security,
Dude. Also,
different time.
that's the craziest thing about the movie.
why is a time cop running from hospital security? I don't think they even had guns. Like, I think Jean-Claude Van Damme could have just been like,
Smack.
yeah, a little smack.
He coulda
Like, don't
just-
kill him. Just,
Breathed on him
Yeah,
hard enough.
yeah,
and they
I feel
probably
like-
would have fallen over.
I feel like he overreacted because I mean he
He
is
wanted an excuse to jump out the window and run
right
across the roof.
Yeah, he jumps out a window. It's hospital security.
See, I wanted him to kill him and be like, I'll fix it. I'll go back and fix it. Don't worry about it.
He just keeps having all this shit go
No.
wrong.
I'll Bill and Ted it. I'll fix it later.
He turns to page 7 of his journal. Okay, now I got to go back and
I got to make it so
Okay.
syringes aren't invented. All the solutions are like way more super complicated. All right, so we travel back in time in a car, so I'll go kill Henry Ford.
I got to make it so black people can't be admitted to the hospital, so she'll never have to go.
Oh, McCombs has that covered, so I'll work on something else. But there's it's two hospital security guards.
Yeah.
It's two.
Two dudes that he could have just pink.
In windbreakers. It's two dudes in windbreakers.
Yeah.
What one jumping set of splits? They'd have been out.
Yeah. They would have just been impressed.
Right.
I feel like you could just intimidate them.
Just lunge at him once and they'd be like, oh, hey.
If I'm working security at a hospital, I'm going to go ahead and call the police if Jean-Claude Van Damme is like supposedly attempted to murder or murdered somebody.
That is what they do.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're the middleman between us and the cops.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to get someone to do the splits on me. That's the police's job. I'm just here to make sure kids don't spray paint on the walls.
I love that his internal affairs partner's sample blood is like 3 vials down from his
I know.
pregnancy test.
Also,
Which they write the results in a scroll attached to it.
Also, I thought it
It
was
was
funny.
1994. Come on, man.
There was no HIPAA yet. I guess that's true.
The labels on those tubes, it's like, the important people's names are in all caps. because all of the rest is just like, okay. All right. Yeah.
This feels like one of those movies that really, really benefits from streaming, where you can just like stop and look at individual frames.
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
see
totally.
how absurd some of this is.
Certainly not the sex scene, however.
Which is-
Would never do that. That's another one. Like when I saw that sex scene, it happens early in the
Right
movie.
away.
It was like, man, they knew 16-year-old boys were watching this shit. They're like,
And that the way
Someone
that
in TADPOG Discord said this was their first introduction to full frontal nudity.
yeah,
I believe that. Totally.
I believe it too, because it was kind of rare at that point for full frontal, but
Yeah.
we kind of got it there, didn't we?
Do you prefer this form of virtual sex or the Demolition Man form of virtual sex?
I'd like. I don't know that. I mean, I'd have to experience the Demolition Man form to know for sure.
Just based on the movies, though. Just based on
Just
the
based
scenes.
on the scenes. I mean, it's pretty easy to get to at work. Apparently, in this one,
That's true.
they don't have firewalls and shit in blocking porn.
You don't have to have another person put on a headset.
Right.
Yeah, but that makes it more fun, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you could do that over the internet too, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah, and I guess you could just have a real sex with a person.
I don't know though. The sex scene and the
That's disgusting.
Fluid transfer?
Fluid
after
transfer.
AIDS.
Thank you, Dave.
The one in Demolition Man is weird though. It's like super like psychedelic and
Yeah.
creepy.
Uh-huh.
So I'd
Like strobe light sex.
strobe light sex.
It's an
like
earthbound background. While
acid
while you're
trip,
having
acid
sex.
trip sex. I think I'd rather just do it the Time Cop way. if
I'm
I
gonna
had to
go.
choose.
I'm gonna go Demolition Man, but it's only because Sandra Bullock's in that scene.
Good point.
Sorry.
That is a good point.
Yeah, I'm basing it
You find-
solely on the actress that's in each of those scenes. Sorry, Phil. Go
You
ahead.
notice how they like weirdly focused in on the sexy robots around Ricky's screen for like multiple shots?
Yes.
Yeah,
He has a thing. He has a fetish.
and then
Was
it's encouraged. It's encouraged by the double agent.
Uh-huh.
Doesn't she tell him like
They had that in the credits. Sexy robot illustrations by Majima Soriyama,
Okay.
I noticed that.
Yeah. Nice.
which I did digging, and
Ooh.
so if you're familiar with Venture Brothers,
Yes.
Professor Soriyama, who has the sex robot,
Yes.
robots, is named after that particular
Oh
illustrator,
my fucking god, that's amazing. It's great.
and it's the exact same. If you look up these illustrations, it's like, oh yeah, these are the exact same as the Leslie bots from
Oh fuck.
Venture Brothers.
I'm looking it up now.
I feel like if that was remade, this would definitely be like an anime. You would be more obsessed with anime girls than sexy robot girls.
Yeah, for sure. I thought the same thing.
Because that far in the future, I want to see like Krieger's from Archers for his hologram waifu bots.
Hmm.
They made a game out of this movie.
They did.
Are you sure?
They
They made software out of this movie.
did. They did. They made a software, specifically Cryo Interactive, which we're all familiar with.
Great spellers, these guys.
A French developer.
Yeah.
They made entertainment software called Timecop, and it was published by JVC in 1995.
That's right.
Known for their
JVC.
kaboom box that you would get on every Nickelodeon game show.
I have an interesting bit of trivia about the game. One of the things that I thought was hilarious about the game, there are a lot of things, but on the long list, one of it was the music. The
FBI.
oh my
Get on it.
god, FBI, and it's like in a robot voice. FBI,
Get on it.
get on it. And I was like, it was so funny to me because I was like, it's like the music composer didn't watch Time Cop because it's like the FBI is like not a thing at all. And then I found out the composer, David Cage, writer and director of Heavy Rain.
Okay.
Damn. Okay.
And I was like, wow. This is worse than Heavy Rain.
Glow up.
Honestly, I thought the music was the best part of the game.
Oh no, he wasn't saying it wasn't the best part of the game.
Correctamundo.
He was saying it wasn't good.
Right.
I thought maybe the music, like with the FBI, get on it. Like it was so robotic because like David Cage wanted to explain why the characters in this game move so robotically.
Oh man, like,
Unless they're punching.
but what is their mocap instruction? Throw a kick or a punch like any human would. Come on, like,
It does seem like this game was made by like aliens. Where it's like, this is how people move, right? This is how the humans
This
move.
is AI developed. AI did this game today and sent it back in time.
I'm Jackie Daytona, human bartender, designing your video game.
Humans punch each other by throwing a lunging uppercut to the penis.
Yes.
Dude, the punch in this game outside of the uppercut, okay, so I turned this game on, and between the opening track of, within the first minute of the game, there's a typo, and it was like, this is gonna be fucking great.
Yes.
Because the antagonist of the game says 1 minute 30 seconds in, the inventor of time travel says, let the duel begins.
I know. I caught that too.
I love it.
In the picture of that guy.
I know.
The fucking picture of this dude.
This action platformer is mocap in the worst possible way.
None of it's good. Like honestly, like looking back at mocap, it's like pretty quaint and like laughable. Even like the good like Mortal Kombat, which I like Mortal Kombat, but looking back at Mortal Kombat was like, this did not age very well.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
This even worse because it's just
because it wasn't done right to begin with.
What if Pit Fighter were an action platformer?
I thought the same thing.
You were talking about the scientist, the inventor of time travel, the guy that they've got,
Dr. Hans Kleindas.
Kleindas, yes, which is clearly like one of the developers in literally $3 worth of costuming.
Fucking $3 worth of Emmett Brown costume.
I've been the villain the whole time. Yeah, so this is the game is the sequel to the movie,
Right.
Yes.
where the inventor was really the true villain who's been manipulating everything behind the scenes, and now he's bored with his infinite success.
It's a novel concept. When I was reading the thing at the beginning, which goes on for a long time, there's a lot of reading to be done at the beginning of this game.
They gotta set this masterpiece up.
But I did like at first the concept of, this is neat that this game is a continuation of the story of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was
And then
convenient
everything sucked.
because it's like, how convenient. You don't have to follow the plot of the movie.
Right.
But at least they're explaining it, unlike some video game adaptations.
In the future, when licensing is way more difficult,
Right, especially licensing Jean-Claude Van Damme's likeness.
we create our own thing.
Because they use the Dark Horse comics. They take a splash page from the comic as the cover for the box art, and then they get a guy that looks kind of like Jean-Claude Van Damme to do the mocap.
And it's throughout the whole thing, it's early Timecop Jean-Claude Van Damme and not later Timecop Jean-Claude Van Damme. Like the haircut and the suit, he looks like he did at the beginning of the movie. Which I find to be not accurate if this takes place after the movie.
Well, it's time travel.
It is. It really is.
Yep.
There's more English in the game.
Somebody went back and fucked with the original cuneiform, so now the language is actually that. So we're wrong.
Well, what I thought is really interesting is this was a French developed game. That's what it's like. Okay, I mean, I get, but it's like doing it's doing very Japanese things. So it's like, okay, so I guess at some point,
English.
yeah, it was like localized by
Yeah.
like in Japan for the US.
Yeah.
Is
So
the
it's
vibe
like the
it gives off.
subtitles on Netflix for anime. You know,
Yes.
it's off. But just a little.
This is one of my favorites, where again the inventor of time travel says he is commanding a Nazi regiment which uses modern weaponry.
Yep.
Also, an entire level 4, German, not Germany, German.
Yep.
It's rough. It's rough.
It is. It's
rough.
blatant.
How far did you guys make it in this game?
I made it halfway through the game. I made it to a giant octopus. And then I died and was like, I'm going to watch the rest of this on YouTube. And that's what I did.
I just jumped straight to the watch it on YouTube part and didn't even play it.
Oh, but then you didn't get to experience the wonderful controls.
I read enough about it to know that I was going to have to give up halfway through the first fucking screen. So I was like, nope, I know better. I'm going to study up, but I'm not going to play it.
Level 1 and 2, I didn't really mind because I learned very quickly. You got low kicks. That's all you can do against the scientists that are shooting at you, and they're mighty, and their reach and their hitbox is enormous. Low kick them.
You're invincible, essentially.
Yeah.
When you're low
Yeah,
kicking.
they can't. They have
It's
no.
like they can't
form.
see you.
Yeah.
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 Like literally.
Yeah.
It's like you crouch and they're just like, looking around.
Yeah. I'm just gonna shoot in this direction. Hope I hit somebody.
That's weird. I just saw a Timecop. I don't know where he went.
He's messing with time.
And then
Time travel.
sometimes they'll be flanking you, and it's like they're
Yeah.
having a conversation.
Yep.
Did you see the Timecop? Something's kicking me.
What is that? I guess I'll jump a little bit and die.
I'm feeling not great. Nope. I really don't feel good.
Then I hit because I was like, okay, this is boring and repetitive, but it's not awful.
Yeah, it does get really
Yeah,
boring.
Then I hit level 3, which was not a maze, but just a series of you climbing up with lots of breakable
And then
floors
getting knocked through the
that go all
holes that
the
drop
way
you all the way down to the very
Yep.
beginning. Yeah, that's fun.
Yep. Then I was like, okay, this sucks.
Especially when they have those flying robots that like go over the gaps and
So
they
you
blend in
can't-
with the background.
Yep. Yep. Because all the backgrounds are the same awful beige bullshit. And then I was like, no, I'm going to stick with it. It wasn't awful. It was bad, but not awful to that point. So I beat level 3.
And this is where
then
the
I get
game
to level
falls off.
4. And
It was
that's where I fucking
Where you're
quit at level
you're in the
4.
San Andreas Fault.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like 1944 San Andreas Fault. It's like, homie, the fucking year doesn't matter. We're in the
Right.
San Andreas Fault for some reason.
Right.
Because it's like, yeah, it's just a Castlevania right before death type boss or enemy gauntlet. But you can't stop and fight them because the rocks are constantly falling on you.
And there's a timer.
Yep. I tried it over and over and over and then just would die to the most random trying to jump over. Finally, I get my timing and I'm jumping between robots. I just run, fire a few shots to get through these guys, pick up some health and making it good. And then one will telegraph my jump and just with their enormous hitbox punch me and I'm fucking dead, or punch me into 2 robots that then I go back and forth hitting until I'm dead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got my levels mixed up. You're talking about when you're running to the time car.
Yes.
Yeah,
With
okay.
the rock, it's just a straight shot.
Yeah, it sucks.
With all the rocks falling.
Yeah.
And with 4 different kind of robots, all the guys in white all the way across. That's where after I died, fuck tons of times. That's where I quit.
My
I was
bad,
getting
man.
frustrated just watching this.
When
It
you said
was
San Andreas fought,
bullet hell.
that made sense because of all the rocks falling, so I didn't question it.
That's the level afterwards. You're underwater. You're like at the bottom of the San Andreas
Oh,
Fault.
Yeah.
And you're in this little fucking like
like James
deep
Bond
diving suit.
space suit, underwater suit. Yeah.
You're at this. I mean,
Oh,
it's like an
God.
underwater. It's like Rapture essentially.
It
It's like this
is.
fucking like underwater base.
Only aliens from the movie Alien are attacking you.
with their octopuses.
Are they? Oh, God.
Yeah, they're octopuses, and there's so fucking goddamn many of them.
Everything happens behind the pipes.
I know. And not only that, because the pipes are in the foreground, but not only that, the octopuses have the supernatural ability to like go below the screen. They're still there.
Yeah.
But they're just below the screen. You can't see them. And then they pop up at you.
Yeah, they don't have bones. They can do that. They
Look,
just melt it.
Like, I'm not saying it doesn't make sense. Clearly it makes sense. It's just not fun.
Oh, I also randomly died for reasons I could never figure out on that third
Timer?
level. No, not
Because that's
timer.
what happened to me.
I
It's
would
like,
just randomly die. I would save state, reload it, and keep doing it till I would get past it. But it wasn't the timer. Something would just randomly kill me.
were you going, how many enemies were you avoiding?
Quite a bit.
Here's my theory. My theory is, like, was the game slowing down?
Yeah, I did certainly have slowdowns.
Okay, me too. My theory is that you had so many enemies on the screen that some sprites weren't being rendered, and you were probably killed by an invisible enemy.
Oh.
It's my guess.
Okay.
Because that happens in NES games. I don't know if that happens on the Super Nintendo,
Okay.
but like you can get a shitload of enemies on the screen in Timecop.
Yeah.
You can.
'Cause you can
Especially in,
avoid
like
so many.
The Tommy gun level.
Oh my
Where they're
god!
shooting at you through the windows, and then there's a fucking car coming.
Yeah, the
and there's-
1920s New York one.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Phil, what about you?
Yeah,
How
did
long
you play this
get?
one?
Did we lose Phil?
I did not play it. I don't have access to it, so
You're
I watched.
only here for the movie talk. I don't blame you.
Yeah, I'm only here for the movie talk. I watched the SNES Drunk video on it. I watched some gameplay footage on it. Enough to, combined with the mocap, made it very clear that this was probably a bottom 100, bottom 50, bottom 25.
It's pretty
Super
bad.
Nintendo game. I do like so. One of the comparisons that they made on SNES Drunk was comparing it to food products that are not quite what they're actually. So, like instead of a juice, it is a juice drink. Instead of dairy, it's a dairy product. This is
What the fuck is
video
juice?
Game product.
Yeah. No, you're
So
exactly
I really
right.
love that comparison. Like this isn't a video game; it's more of a video game product.
The turning around
51%
animation.
video game is all you need to qualify as a video game product.
Yeah.
The turning around.
Yeah, like when you, because it's such a long, because it's rotoscoped like Prince of Persia, but it's not like that. You have to quickly jump and move. So whenever you have to turn around, just the stop and pause, complete turnaround killed me so many times just with so much
Yeah,
shit.
he needs to like plant and pivot on his foot and turn around, and it's like a good half second for every single time you change directions.
Should have done the splits every time he turned around.
Or ducked. I actually had that in my notes. I was like, why is he not doing the splits when you duck?
Right.
Like, it doesn't make sense. Like,
It should happen every time.
every time.
Yeah.
So I thought it was what's really funny about like the turning around, taking so many frames of animation is like all that is so inconsistent because when I started playing this game, I literally was like, I was cackling. Like this game brought me so much joy. This is not, for like 10 minutes, for a span of 10 minutes, this game brought me so much joy because like that we got that typo at the beginning and then we got the FBI, we got that track.
Yeah.
And then like the fucking punch animation was cracking me up because it is literally 2 frames of animation.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like everything else in the game is this like 8 frames, like this like real like herky jerky, but like the punch is like it's literally 1 frame, wind up, 2nd frame, tiny punch. And it's like you can just do that over and over again and you make him look like he's dancing. And like when you're punching, you can turn on a dime. So it's like you can punch and then like turn around and like you can just do this fucking like dance.
Speedrun tricks.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe
Alucard backdashing. That's how you do it.
laughing tricks. Cause like, fuck, man, I was like, no substance.
Yeah.
just pure Timecop.
Or when he's grinding down slippery surfaces and he's doing the crazy animation.
So many slippery slopes in the Timecop offices.
Yep.
This is not very good design.
And it's horrible design. I mean, it's laughable. It
yeah.
really, it's laughable. And like those in that level 3 you're talking about, Tyler, where like the floor has these holes that break.
Yep.
It's hilarious because it's like if you're standing on the very edge of the hole, the game like does you a favor and they're like, you're fine. You're not going to fall. And what it does is like the game like locks up for a second and then like your character awkwardly turns around and walks away.
Yep.
And it's like, what the fuck is that? Why did I just fall? Like that would be so much like make more sense that I just fall. Instead, it's like the game's like, no, you just turn around and
it's like in a sandbox game hitting the edge of the map. It's like, well, nope.
yeah, right. Yeah.
And Star Fox 64, whatever you hit, and then
you
automatically
barrel
burns
back.
out.
Yeah. But what's funny about it is it takes so long. It's not like an instantaneous thing, and it's so like chunk. It's like very obvious that it's happening. Where it's like, the game has detected that you're trying to you're in the wrong spot. You can't fall here, so just give us 2 seconds to adjust.
Did you guys have any achievements for this?
Yeah, I do have some. My first achievement is Let the Duel Begins.
Nice.
AKA FBI, get on it. And to earn that achievement, it's just play level 1, because all that happens in level 1. My second achievement is Long Live Flash, you've saved your Earth, have a nice day. And to get Long Live Flash, you've saved your Earth, have a nice day, you kill all the floating golden spiky ball things in level 1. They look like this golden ball at the end of Flash Gordon that would that would fly around and like paralyze people and stuff. It's just what I thought of when I saw that. My next achievement is Time Won't Let Me. To get Time Won't Let Me, lose any level because you ran out of time. My next achievement is Such Modern Weaponry. And to get Such Modern Weaponry, fight and defeat the German tank with your handgun.
Yeah.
Just kill the tank with your handgun. That's fine. You can do that.
Also, that level, German level,
Yeah, 1944 Nazi world.
was frustrating. Yeah, German was frustrating because the lead up to that level is, the inventor of time travel is going back and giving Nazis advanced weaponry. And then they just have fucking pistols and a tank.
Yeah, they still
and barbed wire.
Yeah, it's the same weaponry. Someone lied.
Yeah.
And my last achievement is the imp, the end. And to get the imp, beat the game. When you beat the game at the very end, it says the end, written in this weird circuitry kind of thing, but the D looks like a P. So it does look like a P. So you say this is
Typeface on that is really weird.
The end.
The end. I mean, it's hard to say, but there you go. Long live Flash. You've saved your Earth. Have a nice day. Dave, what achievements you get?
I have 3 achievements. The first of which is, okay, then I'm going to start kicking air like this. And if any part of you should fill that air, it's your own fault. In order to unlock, okay, then I'm going to start kicking air like this. And if any part of you should fill that air, it's your own fault. You literally kick the air until an enemy runs into your kick, which will happen.
Yep.
It's guaranteed. Next achievement, Drowning in Puss. In order to unlock Drowning in Puss in the San Andreas Fault level, get 6 or more octopuses to follow you at once, grinding the game to a halt. And my last achievement is, what would you do for a Kleindas bar? In order to unlock what would you do for a Kleindas bar, defeat Kleindas in a jetpack duel, reducing his PNG portrait to a single pixel horizontal bar thanks to the technology of Mode 7.
Yes, they got some Mode 7 in there. Credits were in Mode 7.
Yeah, they were, which I actually thought was a nice
Good effect.
It was nice, except like It worked on some of them, but it didn't on others. It was like on some of them, it was like they didn't move the letters back like one space far enough.
And some of the time, some of the letters would just randomly be capitalized.
I know.
Like Leet Speak before Leet Speak.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Yeah. This game is the epitome of we tried.
Yeah, it is. It's like two people developed it. It was two guys. It was crazy. Phil?
Yeah, I've got 4, despite not playing the game at all.
Oh, I didn't either.
Bear
It's
with
fine.
me here. First one is Time Schnapps, which is you drink a bottle of schnapps and time travel 8 hours into the future.
That's easy.
Easy.
Yeah.
Did that today
Second one is
at work.
Time Flop, which is watch the entirety of Timecop on the toilet, which you can do with Amazon Prime.
With commercial breaks.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I didn't have commercial breaks.
Oh.
I get
Listen,
Lucky dog.
before you continue,
Amazon.
Phil, my Amazon Prime lied to me. It shows 3 or 4 minutes worth of commercials at the beginning. It says, we're going to show you these commercials and then your movie will continue uninterrupted.
Right. Mine lied to me too.
About 10,
I know.
about half an hour in, it did it again.
Yeah, after the sex scene, it's like, all right, you've had enough. Watch 4 more minutes of commercials.
Then it'll be, and then it was uninterrupted.
And then it was uninterrupted. Yeah, same.
Like, what the fuck?
nothing
Yeah.
but Nissan and Ruffles. All the way through.
Yes.
Thanks, Obama.
Third one is Time Drop soundtrack, and listen to Beastie Boys instead.
Nice.
And then the final one is Time Co-op, which is develop a version of Time Cop where you have to control Max Walker with the Q, W, O, and P letters on the
Nice.
keyboard.
I would love to play that version.
Confused with Time Co-op, which is play it as a New Yorker.
Tyler.
I had 3. I've got low kick cop, clear level with only low kicks, which I got. Pacifist cop.
I was going to do Pacifist Cop.
Never hurt anybody.
You can jump over everyone.
Yep.
If you're really good, you can avoid that.
And then fuck it cop, where you just fucking get through it.
Yeah.
I got all 3 of these.
Good set of achievements today.
How much do you guys think this game would be if you were to buy it right now, loose? How much do you think you'd pay for it?
$4.67.
$4.67 from Phil.
Yep.
I'm going to go a little higher with $7.83.
$7.83. I like all these numbers. They're very specific.
Easy to remember.
Mm-hmm. You're making it way too easy for me.
Say 1069.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Nice. By that you mean you have to 69 10 times?
10 times. You get a copy of
and then-
Time Cop.
Yeah.
That's all you got to
Yeah.
pay.
Get on it.
We pick who you 69 with.
Oh, this got really fun. I'd waste them though. The first 9 just be like, that guy. And then I get to the 10th and be like, oh fuck, I only get to choose one more? Me?
From the
Shit, I should have just done this from the beginning. Actual retail value of Time Cop for the Super Nintendo, loose, on average, according to pricecharting.com at the time of this recording, is, buckle up into your time car, $32.74.
Damn.
Holy shit.
How worth it is it?
I'd say not.
Not at all.
And why?
Because, I mean,
It has to be super rare.
It has to be rare.
This has to be very uncommon.
Well, you would never connect the
Yeah.
movie to the game from
I
the
know,
box
from the
art.
box
right.
art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No way you would.
no.
Also, the game came out. I mean, game came out in '95. I don't know, only a year after the movie, right? The movie came out in '94,
yeah.
so there wasn't too big of a gap. That does bring us to the next segment.
Yeah, yeah.
Flopsy, what does Flopsy have to say about the game? I think this game had to have been rare.
It had to have been, you think rare or very uncommon?
Good. Maybe very uncommon.
Because I'd say if it was actually rare,
It'd be
it would
more
seem
than
like
that.
it would be more in the $60, $70 range.
Irem Skin Games was rare, and it was only
I bought it. It was that
$17.
cheap.
Yeah.
That day you buy, I remember that. Oh, man. But the thing is, it is a bad game, and everyone knows it's a bad game. maybe they just didn't put a lot of them out there. It didn't sell well.
I was about to say that sounds like it, because even like a good game, because no one wants to let go of it, will go up in price. So I don't feel like anybody's holding on to this. So that makes me question its rarity.
And I do have a little bit of trivia that might help or might just complicate things. There was a Sega CD version of this game that was planned and developed and then scrapped. So that explains the mocap a lot more.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I feel like, oh, okay, this is coming out on the Sega CD. Let's like,
That was their
let's
whole
do,
thing.
yeah, let's do some mocap. That's hot right now.
Yeah.
We got plenty of space on this fucking CD.
Yeah. I'd say rare. Phil, do you have an opinion?
Not hard one way or the other. I would have a really, really hard time thinking that this was exceedingly hard to get based on the price. So, I'll defer to you guys. Rare sounds good.
We were deferring to you.
I'm thinking
Okay.
I'm thinking very uncommon.
I agree. I agree with very uncommon because of the price. I do think in this case it would have been more expensive had it been had it been rare.
Rare. I don't think many of these were produced because it's like this developer developed one other game on the Super Nintendo, which I think was the Speedy Gonzales game.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Actually, it wasn't the Speedy Gonzales game. It was called Super Danny. And I don't,
fuck Super Danny.
which I think was just a European only release, which makes me think that, like, I don't know, JVC was probably like, yeah, we'll do a couple of these.
Yeah.
Can we get the Rise of Jean-Claude Van Damme? No. But we do have Timu Cyclops.
That is true.
Okay.
So we want to
I
settle
appreciate
on
that. They didn't put Van Damme's face on there. They could have, and knowing that they didn't have Van Damme's mocap in the actual game, they did not use it. Sure, that was deliberate.
Yeah, they would have had to pay Van Damme shitloads of money.
$12 million.
$12 million.
$12 million.
That's the magic number, people. What do you think? Very uncommon?
I'll go very uncommon.
What about the stars?
Oh boy, the stars.
This has got to be 2 stars.
How
2
low
and a
does it
half.
go?
I
One the
don't.
lowest?
I don't know
One
if
and
we.
a half?
I don't know if we decide if it was 1 or half a star is the lowest.
Yeah.
I don't think we've seen anything lower than a 1. I don't
Yeah,
think we've seen
not
anything
that I
lower than a
remember.
1.5.
This is 2.5 for me. I think.
You think 2.5?
I think they were honest and gave it shit because this is a bad game.
But you don't think it's worse than 2.5?
Well, I'm factoring in the usual generosity here. If we were doing the star ratings here, I know what we would give it. I like to add a star or a half or a
That's
half
usually
star.
pretty safe.
Does anyone
Whatever
remember-
you feel like, add half a star.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is a 1-star game. I bet I'd say they or 1.5
I'll-
stars.
Oh, okay. I'm about to
Yeah,
say,
1.5 is half.
yeah, I agree with 1.5. Does anybody remember what they gave Pit Fighter?
Well, I think it was a 1 star.
That was a 1 star.
Was.
I feel like they're gonna. This is a better. Don't
it's
worry,
better
I got
than
a
Pit
whole. I got a whole
Pit
lot of
Fighter.
questions for you guys, but I do, for the record, think this is better than Pit Fighter.
Yes.
Agreed.
Although it does not have a forklift. So
Nope, a very low.
although the-
fork-
In the movie.
Although the things that bring you up the levels do look like the forklift.
they do.
that is true. That is true. But they lift you too high.
They do.
They got
Way,
you
it's way
all the
too
way
fucking
up,
high.
way more than 6 inches,
The Time Commission got rid
which I've heard is a good
OSHA.
size.
They just didn't have the stacks of cash.
Jerry's dead, so it's just craziness with the forklifts.
So
I'm gonna say 2. I'm gonna say 2 stars. I think this.
I go 2.
My gut says 1.5. I'll go 2.
Yeah,
Yeah. So give the half star rule 2 stars.
2 stars.
very uncommon. Phil, are you good with this?
I'm good with mild objections. I still think it's 1.5, but I'll defer to you guys.
I mean, I could be swayed. This game is pretty horrible.
In honor of Phil. Let's go 1.5.
1.5.
Yeah, I'm down.
1.5. Very uncommon.
It's not 1.5, but I don't have to be on for another year.
Crispy. Page turning. Foley.
Okay, Timecop. They threw me off because it's one word.
Oh, okay.
According to Flopsy, aka the ultimate Timecop, the ultimate Nintendo guide, Beancrot, ultimate Nintendo guide to the SNES library 1991 through 1998 by Pat Contry, courtesy of Monster Mole Mike and a shadowy mysterious benefactor. Timecop. Phil, you glorious bastard.
Oh, shit.
Saved us, didn't it?
You glorious man. 1.5 stars.
Got it.
I'll be on next week.
Availability?
Next week, yeah.
I'm sorry, Ian. Availability rare.
Damn.
Wow. That's our
Missed
second
it
rare
by
game.
that much. It is only our second rare.
game. Yep.
And the other rare
That's
one
pretty,
was a really good
that's
game.
pretty rare to get a rare.
Yeah, it is.
It's rare.
A rare from rare would be even rarer.
I get a shiny Timecop. Reflections on this says based on the Dark Horse Comics limited series in 1994 Van Damme movie, this licensed property is a strange one to see on the Super Nintendo. A time traveling cop, blah blah blah. The plot of the movie. So there we go. 1.5 rare.
Shit. Yeah, so rare didn't even make the list I've been using. Completely missed.
Yeah. Speaking of that list, oh wait, we've still got more things to do for Timecop. Timecop.
Couple things. Just a couple things.
Yeah.
Double things.
I have a couple questions for you gentlemen. Bottom 100 SNES game?
Easily.
Yeah.
I agree with this. But is it better or worse than Pit Fighter?
Better.
It's better.
Okay. Is it better or worse than Wayne's World? Party time. Excellent.
Yes.
Better?
It's better than Wayne's World because I could beat a level.
Okay.
Could not fucking play Wayne's World to save my fucking life.
I'm kind of there with you. Yeah, better.
Do you have any mustard?
Grey Poupon?
Is it better or worse than The Rocketeer?
Better. I couldn't fucking play the Rocketeer.
With
I
the
couldn't control
the airplane
fucking
racing?
airplanes.
Same.
Same.
Same level of bad.
Same level of bad.
I think it's better than The Rocketeer.
I know that if I didn't, I admittedly did not play this game, Timecop, but I know that I could have. I could
sure.
control
That is a good
the
point.
guy.
That is a good point.
So for me, it's better than the Rocketeer.
I didn't completely despise the side-scrolling shooter levels of Rocketeer.
Which there also are horizontal shooting levels in Timecop that we forgot to
Oh, I
mention.
didn't fucking get there.
Yep, that exists. You drive a big old.
Yeah.
You drive that time car.
Yeah,
You drive that time car to a horizontal shooting stage.
it goes up and down.
Uh-huh.
And you shouldn't be able to do that in the time car.
That better or worse than Beethoven's Second?
Better. Fuck me, better.
That's a hard disagree for me.
I did better. I know I did better in Beethoven's Second than I would have done in Timecop. So I'm going to say worse than Beethoven's Second.
Beethoven's Second is like, I don't know. I was playing this when I was doing this list. I was like, fuck, man, Beethoven's Second was so much better than Timecop.
It was. It
Timecop
really was.
is so bad. Is Timecop better? Sorry, is Timecop better or worse than Home Improvement, Power Tool Pursuit?
I don't know this one. I didn't play that. It's before my time.
Because I couldn't get fucking anywhere. That game was such a goddamn mess.
The level design is like, it's
I think it's better than Home Improvement because at least I could tell what I was doing. And Home Improvement, it was just a fucking free-for-all.
a close one for me. But I would have to say I got more enjoyment out of Timecop.
Yep.
So I'll go with Timecop. Is it better or worse than T2, Terminator 2,
Better.
Judgment Day?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I also think it's
I have
better.
my baselines, and that's the one. Better.
Is Timecop better or worse than Balls 3D?
I didn't do. Did I do that one?
It's worse. It's worse than Balls 3D.
I agree.
Yeah.
It doesn't have open wide for Chunky,
Yep.
which is a saving
You know,
grace.
The clown spewing balls.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Is it better or worse than Bill Lambier's Combat Basketball?
I don't know.
Worse.
It's a tie for me, I
Yeah.
think. Is Timecop better or worse than Cool World?
Cool World.
Cool World.
Oh shit. Oh, yeah, I guess it's better than Cool World.
I think it's better than Cool World because I didn't know what the fuck
Yeah,
was
Cool World
going
was
on
so
ever
confusing.
in Cool World.
That was like all the worst Sierra Interactive tropes thrown together for Cool World.
It's almost a tie for me, and like the tiebreaker would be that Timecop is a way better movie than Cool World. And you actually see boobs in Timecop where they're just like kind of hinted at in Cool World.
Shadows.
Right? Yeah. Is Timecop better or worse than Road Riot 4-wheel drive?
Better. Road Riot was fucking, god damn it. Yeah.
And lastly, this could have been a very, very long list, truncated. But lastly, the most important one, is Timecop better or worse than Street Hockey 95?
Better.
I agree that it's better.
Let me ask you one.
Yes.
Better or worse, Virtual Bart?
Oh,
Man, I almost
That's what came to my mind.
I almost did a Simpsons game here, but I'm going to be fucking honest with you guys. Those all blur together for me except for Itchy and Scratchy.
Yeah.
Like if you were to show me a screenshot from one of them right now, I'd be like, I don't know what game this is from. Also, I thought about adding a Ren and Stimpy one, but I was like, I don't know the difference between those fucking horrible Ren and Stimpy
all I
games.
remember is the fucking gums. The
Oh yeah,
nerves
with the teeth and
yeah,
shit.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
This one would have been worse than Virtual Bart.
Is Virtual Bart the one where
The one
you
with
throw
a bunch of mini games? The one with the mini games in it.
Yeah,
Okay.
you throw whenever Bart's on the wheel.
Yeah. Virtual Bart's better.
Yeah.
Virtual Bart's not good, but it's
not
better
good,
than
but
Time
it's
Cop.
better than Time Cop.
I feel like there's more playability in Virtual Bart.
Yeah.
Also, Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
if you were to give this game a beard that sums up how you feel about it, what kind of beard would you give it?
I would give it the beard of Mad Dog Tannen when he gets manure dumped all over him.
I hate manure.
Manure beard.
Okay. The Sloppy Joe.
Good old Sloppy Joe. Like them extra sloppy.
I heard you kids like them extra sloppy. And then the cafeteria lady just shits on the kid's mouth. Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
if you were to give this game a pair of glasses, what kind of glasses and why?
A pair of reading glasses being shit on by a cafeteria lady.
Nice. Nice.
Hot, steamy, sloppy Joe shit.
All right.
Yeah. Time Cop.
What do you guys want to do next week?
Well, do you want to do a Home Alone 2?
We getting?
Is that time?
Is it that time already?
Well, it was. I wasn't sure if it was going to be the election game or if it was going to be the Christmas game. Or we've still got. Do we have any games on the list?
We do.
I know, and I'm curious if Beauty and the Beast is on that list because
It should be.
yeah.
Yes, movie games. Oh, Beauty and the Beast is on here. I just missed it.
Okay.
So we have Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and King Dork. that was for Phil.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Super Godzilla.
Okay.
Toy Story.
Mm-hmm.
Lord of the Rings.
Mm-hmm. Phil's come back for next Lord of the Wings. Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the
next week?
Wings. It's a new promotion at Buffalo Wild Wings.
That's good. Do they have onion rings at Buffalo Wild Wings?
I think so.
No,
Actually,
I think it's literally. I feel like the Lord of the Rings fan base is rabid enough where they could sell you one onion ring for $5.
Oh yeah, all you can eat onion rings with the purchase of all you can eat wings.
Fried in the finest elven gold.
Hide in the fires of Mount Doom.
With a Mount Doom collector's clamshell.
It's
Sounds-
really just left over from our Little Mermaid promotion, but you'll never know.
I know a dingle hopper when I see one.
The Buffalo Wild Wings.
So, I mean, I feel like
Was that it?
That's it.
That's it.
Beauty and the Beast, or
and then Home Alone 2. So Beauty and the Beast, what I say, Lord of the Rings,
Super Godzilla.
Super Godzilla, Toy Story.
Ooh.
You want to just roll a d4 or randomize it, or what do you want to do? Pick it. Any of them calling to you, Ian? I can.
Question is,
Mhm.
if you guys are doing Lord of the Rings, do you plan on watching the Lord of the Rings trilogy? Because that might play a role in when you guys want to do that.
Yeah, that should be last. And I was
You
just
think
about.
we got to watch the whole fucking trilogy?
I think we watched the animated
Extended
version.
edition is on Prime. They're 4 hours each. That's 12 hours
Jesus,
of Tolkien.
it's not happening.
This is only volume 1. That's all that was ever released. So I feel like
That's true.
Fellowship is all that has to be watched.
So is this based
point.
on Fellowship of the Ring?
I think I
It
Like
is.
the one we know of?
this is
from-
no, this is pre.
Okay, I was
all
going to
that.
say that can't
Yeah.
be right.
But it's based on the first book, Phil. Is that correct?
The Balrog is the final boss. You get through that, and then that's the end of the game. And they never made another one.
So let's just say, Phil, when are you available? And then that's when we'll do Lord of the Rings, because it seems like we need you.
I mean, next Monday is Veterans Day. I'm not going to be doing anything that day. My Mondays are pretty darn open, so I can squeeze you guys in to my busy schedule
And
anytime.
I do feel like, by the way, the small order of business Mondays are still going to have to happen, I think, through at
Through
least
November.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, because of Thanksgiving. I was thinking
Yeah.
about that too.
Probably back to Thursdays.
Monday's not a typical recording day for you guys.
No.
We were doing Thursdays, and then October was so fucked because of like work stuff and obligations, and then it was easy to just do like, oh, just fuck it, we'll do Mondays in October. This is great podcasting, by the way. They teach you this in a like Joe Rogan podcasting masterclass. Rule number 1: never argue with your guest, and just take everything they say 100% without questioning anything. And then number 2 is discuss your schedule.
Some people like Brad from Arizona want to know when we record so they can help provide supplemental material, like, I don't know, emails about the video games that we review.
I understand. I mean, why instant message somebody when we could spend 20 minutes talking about it on the show?
I have an email here from Brad from Arizona about,
What?
about Timecop.
What?
That he wrote us 2 weeks ago before we fooled everybody and did Nightmare on Elm Street instead of Timecop.
He did.
I've already read the first half of this email, so
remember.
I'm gonna pick up on the second half of the email.
Okay.
I'm not gonna reread the whole thing.
Not gonna lie, had me in the first half.
Good. Second half is better, I guess. All right. No one reviewed Brad writes. No one reviewed Timecop besides Famitsu, which gave it a 20 out of 40. What kind of scale is that? A 20 out of 40, a 40-point scale. And one other website that is now offline and has no archive link. However, Wikipedia said that it's often run for awful games done quick, which is enough to give me an idea of the quality here. EGM2 ran a preview in their October 1994 issue. Next Wave, Timecop, JVC. You are Max Walker, played by Jean-Claude Van Damme in the movie, a time-traveling cop who has to stop a series of criminals from altering the time stream. You must use a variety of punches, kicks, and firepower to take down the thugs who wish to alter history. Based on the movie of the same name, Timecop will be released for both the Super NES and the Sega CD. Little did they know. You will be able to travel to several different time zones. So, you could go to Mountain Time, Eastern Time, Central Time, whichever.
Mm-hmm.
Not really great time travel, but time travel.
There was a whole Pete and Pete about that.
Yes, there is.
Riboflavin.
Each offering unique challenges. Hopefully, these games will be as intense as the movie is sure to be.
Oh boy, this was written
is
before the
pre-movie.
movie.
Time Cop is going to be one furious action game you won't want to miss.
I just love
EGM, you got it wrong.
I just love the wild assumptions. This is Phil. Is this what is called good journalism?
I have also been in a position where I've had to fill space. But yeah, this is journalism.
Brad continues.
I'm on a deadline, and I've got 500 words worth of content to fill. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm sure Timecop's gonna be a good movie.
probably.
Brad continues. Everyone knows that the best JCVD movie is Street Fighter, but hopefully you enjoyed this one anyway. Later, Brad from Arizona.
Later.
Thank you, Brad.
Thanks, Brad.
Sorry, I almost forgot your email.
And it's Bloodsport, by the way. Not Street Fighter. Bloodsport.
All right, back to the show. Back to the flow of time that we were in.
Yeah, we were talking about
Our schedule.
Very important,
recording schedule.
recording schedule.
We'll figure that out off air.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of those 4, listener.
Yeah.
How good.
Whatever happens, we're gonna publish on Wednesdays like always.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
So thanks for listening, everybody. Find the show on iTunes and not SoundCloud and not Stitcher, but on Spotify, all over the goddamn place. Lots of stuff going on, but most importantly, it's Patreon.
Money, please. It's working.
It's working.
Yes, it is. Donate to the show at patreon.com/TADPOG if you want to give us money and make us happy and let us keep having reasons to live. But I will
dark,
it's
but accurate.
For as little as $1, it's just a measly $1 a month. You get access to all of our bonus content. We always talking about it, referring to it. A lot of actual plays on there. The Dark Tower Book Club series, where we go through all 7 books and the movie of the Dark Tower series by Stephen King. Just all kinds of fun stuff on there. And for $1 a month, you can have access to that. That's it. No tiers, no nothing. Just $1 gets you the access. We do have a list of executive producers, which is growing.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm going to read the names of these people because they donate $20 or more per month to the show. And I'm going to start that list with Cubicle Monkey, Gamebug Prime Nathan Eaton. Making a return appearance to the executive producers list, we once again are happy to welcome Matt Gentile, a.k.a. Gentle G. Thank you so much for joining our executive producer roster once again.
Hell yeah. Welcome back.
Pinball Airplane Archmage Chris Edler. Sorry you couldn't be on this episode. Derek Pope Sandwich. Comes on his wife, Jeff Miners. Congratulations on your marriage. Drinksmith Joey Webster. Some guy named Feel. How can you guys help me here?
Hankins.
Hankins. It's Hankins. I misspelled it. Sandwich Pope Phil Hawkins.
That's me. I am Hankins.
Louisville correspondent Princess Consuela Banana Hammock Flavor Trick Taryn Dahl, Canadian Turbo Nerd Thomas, sorry about that, and Treff Dietrich. Thank you all so much for your generosity and all of our donors, not just our executive producers, to everyone. We're really grateful in this crazy time that you would send us a little money just for doing what we love. So thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
And also, as always, thanks to Brad from Arizona for your email. And that is it for the business section of TADPOG this week.
Phil, thank you for being on, sir.
Yes.
Thank you for having me. It has been wonderful as always.
I'm glad to hear that because I feel like we didn't give you a lot of opportunity to talk. I feel kind of bad because we were real excited about shitting on this video game.
I'm here for the movie section, and then otherwise I am just live listening to a recon. So it's all good.
Awesome.
I get first access to this before everybody else.
Yes, you do.
So how you guys, our theme song goes Moon More Drive. I'm trying that track from the show at TADPOG.com. How do you guys want to close it out?
As the Smithereens, to the tune of Time Won't Let Me.
You lost me.
Me too.
What a
Did
you watch the movie?
Remake from
Yeah.
the 60s and The Outsiders from
Yeah.
Cleveland.
The song "Time
Everybody
Won't
knows
Let Me."
Smithereens.
The song at the end of the movie is called "Time Won't Let Me."
Okay.
But if you don't know it, we're gonna have to pick something else.
I don't know.
I mean, we don't have to. I did watch the movie, but it was also kind of like, okay, it's over.
yeah.
All right, time to go do something else.
All right, let's do it as
Van
John.
Damme did star in the Smithereens music video, so there's that.
Well, they wouldn't know because they don't watch the credits and know the song. Apparently,
Well, also Prime was straight up like, this movie's over. I mean, it was like,
it
was like, homie, you better press a button in 2 fucking seconds, or we're gonna show you something else.
starring Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Double Impact played right after this. Whenever I
Yep,
was
that was for me too. Yep.
Oh, that reminds me. My final piece of trivia for this. This is one of 4 movies where Van Damme has played twins or multiple versions of himself.
Yep.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that seems like a lot.
People love me a lot. They're gonna want to see more of me. So
It works for Eddie Murphy. I'll do it.
He likes to play himself in multiple movies.
Dude, I would love to see a remake of Christmas with the Clumps, but it's Jean-Claude Van Damme instead of Eddie Murphy.
Ooh, final piece of trivia. This is the 4th movie to knock Forrest Gump from number 1 at the box office in 1994.
Wow.
Nice.
Forrest Gump got number 1 after True Lies knocked it off, after The Mask knocked it off, after Natural Born Killers knocked it off, but Timecop was the one that buried it in its grave, never to come back to number 1.
Wow. Natural Born Killers is one of those movies that I haven't seen in a very, very, very long time.
Like 30 years. Yeah.
And I remember liking it when it came out, but I have a feeling that movie did not hold up.
It's okay.
Is it?
We watched
Okay.
it recently.
Okay.
that's the equivalent
really
of the Country
great.
Castle for me. My parents were like, "Never will you ever watch that movie."
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up. Robert Downey Jr. is in that one, and it was really neat to see him in that role again, like back in his earlier kind of post Brat Pack career.
I forgot he was in it.
Yeah, I was there when the shit hit the fan in Grenada.
Yeah, it's been a fucking minute.
Yeah, it's a good movie. It still holds up. It's less weird
I imagine
by
it-
today's
you're right,
standards.
sure.
It's less weird, but it's still pretty weird. Jean-Claude Van Damme.
All right. So until next time. Tropical Capricorn.
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 She gets him so good.
Kylie Minogue's
At
vagina.
at the beginning of the movie, she said that after he foils the purse snatcher, he said that criminal read my mind. And the wife, she goes, he'd have to with your English.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, burn.
Yeah. They got in front. I feel like
Now
that was
take
the.
me back and fuck me.
In a
Yes,
weird,
ma'am.
Weirdly.
You bet.
Take me back and weirdly fuck me to saxophone music.
Is Ferris going to be mad?
This is one of those few 90s movies where they didn't really bother to explain why he had a weird accent.
No, it
They
just
just gave him a straight, like, Axe Walker, standard American name, and you've got a French-Belgian accent, and we're not going to talk about it.
yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty progressive, actually.
it is. We're not gonna
Most
make
of
a
the time,
big
it was
deal.
just like, you are Luc Devereaux, a French-Canadian.
Yeah. Viva la Quebec.
You're definitely an assassin.
Come on. Viva Max Walker, Viva Quebec.
You are an assassin who's just trying to get a good cappuccino.
Has Bruce Willis and Jean-Claude Van Damme ever been in a movie together?
The Expendables.
They are okay.
It was like
Yeah.
Expendables 2 or 3, one of those.
Do they interact with each other, or are they just?
No, they do not interact with
Damn,
one
I would
another.
love to see that.
they're in the same movie together.
Okay.
I like that you had 2 movies in 3 weeks where you had impossible to work with diva prima donna actors from the mid-90s.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah. Well, it's not hard. Given most of the choices of male leads in the early 90s, it's probably, we should do Steven Seagal next, right? We had a whole plan for that, I think. But
Still up there. Still on the
The
docket.
lead henchman from this movie reminded me of Seagal because he had all that like weird Native American beads and like and the designs on his shirt. He seemed like the henchiest of henchmen.
He really
I haven't
did.
seen
He
in
was
a while.
super hinchy. Did you ever see Tango and Cash?
Super hinchy. I love that.
Oh,
He's like
I
Karnov
love
with a
Tango
mullet.
Handcash. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy, they pulled him right out of that one.
At least they
Hinchiest
got
of
that
hinchy.
future part correct, like the shaved side with the long on top.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
Yep.
they predicted some future things correctly.
yeah, they did. All right, that's it. Bye, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
See you
Thanks,
next
Phil.
week.
Adios. Thank you guys.
Yeah. Thank you,
See you,
man.
bud.
Bye.
TADPOG is hosted and produced by Tyler Holland, Dave Moore, and Ian Chandler, and releases new episodes every Wednesday. You can find them on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and just about anywhere else podcasts are hosted. If you have a question or comment for the hosts, don't hesitate to call us at 270-883-2555 and leave us a voicemail. If we like it, we'll play it on the show and respond. If you'd like to send us something, you can do so at TADPOG Studios, care of Nicole Nance, P.O. Box 3785, Paducah, Kentucky 42002. If you'd like to donate to the show, visit patreon.com/tadpog, and with a minimum donation of $1 per month, you will get access to all of our fun bonus content. Join the conversation on our Discord server at bit.ly/tadpogdiscord. Registration is free, and we'd love to have you there. If you enjoy our show and haven't already, don't forget to find and tap that subscribe button so you don't miss anything. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week. Phil, start talking a lot.
Okay. So, what can I talk about?
Okay, that's
this
good.
seems like a weird. Aw. That wasn't very much at all.
I just wanted to make sure the software was picking up your lovely voice.
I'm glad that it does.
Girl, same.